And you and Divine and ML. I'm with you. The population thing, forget the fucking the voter ID thing. I'll be talking about that forever. But how do you solve gerrymandering without a population grid? Because I don't think an independent can ever actually be independent. Because you will have half Democrats, half Republicans, and then one supposedly in the middle that's going to have 3 trips to Aruba and Vegas. You know what I mean? For the district. So I don't know how you get an independent commission to draw something. I think it's got to be a computer or some sort of gate. And you put it over the United States. You put it over the states, and that's the district.
Oh, we tried.
Honey. Wait. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Like, we couldn't hear something.
So Patty's over there rubbed down on while we listen to the crazy.
Hey, hello.
So what the
fuck?
Put
me on mute, y'all. I can't.
No, we need massage too.
Mute the word.
Could y'all put me on mute? I can't do it.
It's not working.
No, yeah, I tried to mute you.
Put me on mute.
I just oh my god. This app is
Yeah, that's crazy. He won't let us mute you.
There you go. All right, so back to what I was saying. So, I don't, in my mind, I just don't understand. This is such a losing issue. Not a losing issue. This could be such a winning issue. Give them the voter ID piece and add.
Go on, Ben. She's gone.
Give them the voter ID piece and add other stuff in. All the concerns that people have about voter ID, just address it in the bill. I don't see any good arguments against it. It's already in 36 states. People are worried about voter ID in New York. Is that the claim? In Oregon? This is dumb. This is dumb. All right. This is dumb.
Did you talk about the fact that he can't fire Lisa Cook? I was waiting on that part because I thought that was wild that they voted for that to be a thing.
Well, wow. The Fed, they protect the Fed is very independent. You know, the FTC, FCC, all these commissions that Congress set up 100 years ago, they believe that the president should have full power over those things.
Yeah, but
the Fed is set up differently.
But I thought that goes into the whole concept of having checks and balances.
They're executive agencies, FTC, FCC.
Okay.
Took the Federal Reserve. Didn't she?
No, that's what the ruling said today.
Isn't she governor of Federal? What is she? I thought she was governor of Federal
Reserve.
Reserve.
You said so is the Federal Reserve. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She was governor. So there was 2 women. There was Miss Slaughter and Miss Cook. Excuse me. There was Miss Slaughter and Dr. Cook, but they treated the agencies differently. One is an executive agency. One is not in the same way. So that's why she gets to say. I'm sure if she came on the app and tried to talk about, what her expertise is in, people on here would challenge her and tell her she's wrong.
They would tell her she's tethered, but shout out Doc.
The things that needs to happen when Democrats get back in office is they should limit executive power greatly. They probably won't, but they should.
How can they limit it? It was expanded by the Supreme Court. They can't do anything. So Democrats should, when they get into office, Democrats should watch Trump expand and wield executive power, and the Supreme Court allows it. And then when they get in office, even though they have the same power, they should decide not to use it. Okay.
I said they won't. I said they won't, but they should, because whatever comes out.
Z, you are an anti-Semitic piece of shit garbage, Z. You hear me? You are trash. Your voice sounds like a fucking dumpster fire. Fingernails on a chalkboard, you piece of trash, anti-Semitic.
Supreme Court allows it. I got it. The Kansas City Chiefs are using the forward pass. The San Diego
Gotcha,
Chargers
bitch!
should not. They should just
Gotcha, bitch!
run the wing and tee.
Good analogy. Great analogy.
Get him out of here! Go ahead, get him out of here!
It's coming. And I was in the Trump room yesterday.
Sure, that was insightful.
It was.
Yeah,
I had talking about socialism.
He had them boys talking about socialism!
To see it.
He had them boys talking about socialism!
But I'm not going to go into that. But when you look at like what is coming,
What is coming? What's coming right now? Oh my god, what is coming?
Sure. And New York is going to set the precedent, and for a future Islamic Caliphate, which is going to be run by the rabbis, like it was always run
Like it
before.
was in the Persian Empire.
Yeah, like it was in the Persian Empire by the Exilarch. Because ultimately, I mean, the goal would be that they could start up a caliphate again, and then they'll have like 2 billion like troops. That's the whole fucking point.
It's already 2 billion troops. Just open the gates.
And they're not organized. So you don't have a caliphate.
Let's see.
The only one fighting right now is Iran. Like no one else is fighting right now. The only one standing like against.
Nobody's fighting because there is no fighting. There is dropping of bombs, and that's it. Nobody's fighting. When they fight on the ground, they get kicked in the ass. That's a different story.
Let's go to the Bible with some evidence here. Why we drop bombs? We'll be able to show you. It is perfectly fine. It's in the Bible. We're gonna go to 1 Samuel. Yeah.
Yes.
Chapter 15, verse 3. Let's go to 15:3. This is a good one. Now go strike Alamak and devote to destruction all that they have. Do not spare them, but kill both men, women, child, infant, ox, sheep, camel, and
Where's the go? That's
So
what they said.
So
maybe I don't understand
the case. Maybe I don't understand the case.
Have you read the decision, Trent?
I didn't. I'd be honest. I didn't.
So then why are you offering your opinion about something that you don't know about and have not read?
No, what I'm
Just answer my question first. You haven't read the opinion. You don't know what the holding in the opinion says. You don't know how the Supreme Court reached the holding, and yet you have a strong opinion about the decision. You don't know anything about it, though.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You have an opinion about it.
I didn't. That's not what I said. I was talking about the expansive powers that Trump has taken on from terrorists, from everything.
Yeah, but
not just one.
All of that is occurring within the context of the Trump versus Slaughter judicial opinion, which you have not read. And you've read nothing about it either.
In this motherfucker. You guys have a nice day.
Yeah, Totem, take your bitch ass off.
He's gone.
Oh my God.
I just said I thought the
You guys need more gay niggas in your lives because of what we have. And
And yes, you can put me together because my shit, I need some.
Yes, and I like you watch our abs too.
I know. You see that picture? I'm looking
pretty thick there, sir.
All right, let's chill.
I
Let's
know,
move on. Move around.
You're right. I've been on the donut.
Wasn't told to
Been on the
chill
donut.
when he got all homophobic with me, and now I gotta chill.
Yeah, you don't have to chill. You're right. I love you some gay people.
Shit.
But in all seriousness, Hurricane, and I love your opinion on it. How do we roll back some of the things? Because what I'm saying is, let me say it more eloquently. How do we roll back some of the things that Trump has broken? How do we do that? Or how do Democrats do that? Hello?
Hello?
Anybody? App working?
Hello?
I think Bam was saying, why roll it back if in fact the Democrats are going to get in? Like, that doesn't make sense. Then they would be stepping on their own feet. So, I don't understand the question.
Just because you get in 2028 doesn't mean what's coming in 2020, 32 ain't going to be much worse.
All right, then you push it down the can and talk about it at that time.
Oh, I don't see. That's what I think the problem is.
It will violate the Constitution.
What was violating?
Because it
I thought
violated the
Trump was violating
Constitution.
the Constitution. Go ahead.
Trent, you just went out.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not trying to argue. I'm seriously asking the question. If you think Trump is violating the Constitution, then you should strengthen the law. Then you should put in new laws or strengthen things that are in ambiguity with what the powers that the president has.
But the Supreme Court just gave him powers.
We gotta slow it down. Trey, the Supreme Court just said it is constitutional for Trump to do what he did. You understand that part?
Hello?
So if it is constitutional,
Hello?
what could the Dems do when they get in office? If the Dems were to
Hello?
pass a bill that prohibits that bill would be unconstitutional.
Hello?
And Dr. Lafayette, I don't even know this recent decision. I'm not talking about the context of this, so I'm not talking about just this decision. Because they have ruled basically like the terror stuff, some of the terror stuff that he said he didn't have the power to do. There's been other things where the Supreme Court has ruled against him. And so what I'm saying, and there's an ambiguity in some of these laws because they've never been tested. And so what I am saying, when the Democrats get into office, when they get in power, I do think they'll be empowered in 2028. They should limit the power of the president and more clearly define what the president can and can't do.
You think the Dems should just go over every power the executive
Congress
branch
cannot
has?
define what a president can and cannot do. You're not listening.
Hello?
That's literally what the court said today.
Hello?
That's what they said. It was 6-3. You're not listening. What a stupid thing politically. The other guy comes in, fucks up stuff that we hate, and the way we combat it is by taking our own.
Kanye West said, "Do you have the power to let power go?" I get you. I didn't say it happened. I do think it would be a good idea that we
The
more
argument is
express
whether it would happen or not. What we're saying is stupid is you thinking it's a good idea. I'm not saying whether or not it would happen. I'm saying your idea is stupid. What you're saying is stupid. I'm not making a prediction. I'm making a qualitative judgment on your idea, which is a stupid one and an unconstitutional one.
So then basically, Trump does have all these powers that he's used, is what we're saying. So he hasn't really
Depends on the area, yes. In this Article 2, in immigration, in terrorism, in war, Yes, exactly. Some things he doesn't have. That's literally what the cases were today. That's literally what we've been talking about. That's quite literally what we've been talking about.
Let me ask you a different way. Should forget about who being in office. Do you think, does anybody on stage think that some of the executive branch's powers should be rolled back? Do we think that? Not what the Supreme Court thinks. Do we think that? Do you guys think that?
Wait, what? So that's a strange question to ask. Would you like to know why I find your question strange?
Sir.
Well, the president's powers flow from the Constitution. The Constitution, as you should know, is the law that governs the president, Congress, and the judiciary. So if the Constitution gives the president certain powers, those powers can't be taken away legally because they belong to the president as a matter of law. For instance, the authority to make foreign policy decisions. Nobody can take that away from the President of the United States because the Constitution says that that power exists for the President to wield alone by himself, herself, or if we ever have a trans president, themselves. Okay? That's why your question is weird to me.
So I think the thing that Trent is inarticulately asking, which clearly stated may not be any smarter, is are there maybe like loopholes or points of vagueness in the delineation or the outline of presidential powers that can be filled or packed in so that the next president like Donald Trump can't exploit like those things? I think that may be the thing that he's trying to ask. And again, maybe it's still not a smart question.
Wait, loopholes that haven't been exposed yet? Or loopholes that have been exposed?
Maybe both. I don't know. I'm just trying to help.
Right. That's what I was asking. The ones that everybody is saying that he has used to be unconstitutional to this point, that I now guess are constitutional. But you know, that's what I'm asking. Is there a way to rein in presidential power?
Yeah, there's one way. When a president abuses his executive power, one way to rein it in is to sue the president because of what the president has unlawfully done. That's why Donald Trump has been sued hundreds of times already. That's one way.
I've been effective.
That's false.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Where has that been effective?
Have you read the decision today regarding his attempt to fire Lisa Cook?
I saw that there was a 5-4 decision that she can stay in office while they review something else. Is what I got out of it. I didn't read the whole thing, but please explain. I'm listening to you, baby.
Do you consider that a win for the president, or do you consider that for the president?
A loss to me.
Okay. Well, you've answered your own question.
President Ossoff, when he comes in and just cleans house in 2029, Republicans are going to regret moments like this, I don't understand why people are working from the assumption that we're going to live to 70 years old, 75 years old, and Donald Trump's going to be president the whole time. I do not understand it. What goes around comes around like a motherfucking bitch. I just do not understand it. Okay.
I'll just say
Wait,
this.
what happened? Who got cleaned out? Who got that clock cleaned?
Nobody yet.
Oh, I think you just said something about somebody cleaning up.
I said what goes around comes around.
Right, but before you said that, you said something about somebody.
I said when President Ossoff comes in 2029 and cleans house and fires everybody, including
Gotcha.
Brandon Carr and all the maggots that are in, they're going to be pissed.
Thank you for clarifying.
They're gonna be real pissed when the socialists come to power. You know, wish they rolled some of these executive powers back then, because they're laying out the blueprint for socialism. Blueprint.
Robert's decision in this case is so predictable. His opinion, I've been going through it. It's just so predictable. He's basically saying the president can pick who he wants to work with. That's literally what he's saying.
Amazing Grace. The socialist motto should be like the Colorado Buffaloes of 2 years ago. We coming. Oh, and Ben, you didn't tell me about DC.
Yeah, what happened to the Colorado Buffaloes last year? They came. What a horrible analogy to use.
Dion lost the nose. Dion had cancer.
Fuck.
Dion had cancer. But look, hey, you didn't tell me about DC, so my cousin Doug told me about the socialists that won in DC. I didn't know this. I thought it was only New York.
Nobody cares because she's black, so we can just move on.
Yeah, nobody cares. She's a black woman, so nobody
Black woman, so who cares that she's
So we only care about the Browns.
Browns and BIPOCs.
The Indians. And the BIPOCers. And the IPOCers.
Okay.
And the Haitians. But Trent, if you're a socialist now, you should know this. They have a socialist paper you should be ordering. You should have been updated on that the next.
To be honest, Doctor, I ain't bullshitting with you. I'm reading up. I just watched the Marx documentary on Prime.
Oh, this is where all this is coming from?
It was a little boring. No. I've been saying for a minute. Like, it wasn't me. Some of my guys in tech been telling me, hey, when labor gets down to a zero-sum game, basically labor is the cost of electricity. It ain't, we have to just completely change the economy. It just doesn't work. And also looking at healthcare, it's like two things for me. It's healthcare and AI, humanoid robots. It's like those, I consider AI and humanoid robots the same thing. And so those two things, like, have led me to say, like, if you look at it 5 years from now, 7 years from now, I don't see how you don't have more socialism. It's not working. It's not working now. That's what's very clear. It doesn't matter. Even people making over $200,000 a year are struggling, or it's tight, and it shouldn't be. And part of it's the population growth, but part of it is the capitalist system of consumerism that is breaking upon itself.
are you gonna read some works?
I read shit. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, then you can't be a socialist. You don't read.
I haven't read. The last thing I read, and I told Ben, the last thing I read was Original Sin, and I didn't read it all. I didn't read it cover to cover. But like I'm like the students at Columbia. I don't have the capacity to read, a whole novel. The documentaries they get the gist done. And things are moving so fluidly, moving so fast. Like I don't know if you know what's going on with Quad Mythos. Yeah, go ahead.
Just stop. Just stop. Thank you.
Why I gotta stop?
Just like the students at Columbia, we just gotta let them on.
No, man was talking about the students at Columbia not being able to read full.
And yesterday, that was in the context of an education discussion.
Right.
They don't want to hear about people want to talk about the news and stuff. They don't want to hear about you personally. Come on, man.
And I'm talking about the news, and so I'm looking at I was about to
talk about the Supreme Court. Okay, you're right.
I don't want to talk about the Supreme Court.
No, I'm sorry. You know what? I apologize, Trent. You talk about whatever you want.
No.
You good? I don't have anything.
I was talking to Dr. Library, like what's happening with Mythos and Quad, and it breaking into bank accounts in our national security systems. I know you may not know Amazing Grace because you're reading books, and it's not in books.
I know everything.
Not in books. And so...
I know that what you're saying is bullshit. I know that.
No, it's not bullshit, ma'am.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, you just don't know.
Yes, it is.
So I was talking with one of my friends.
We don't want to talk about the Supreme Court.
Okay, go back to the Supreme Court.
Thank you.
All right. I do a quick reset. So we had 4 big decisions today. One nobody's really interested in, but it's an important Fourth Amendment case. That was the case on the Google warrant. Whether the police can get your information out of Google when your phone pings. That's like a win for privacy so far. At least it was a nasty 6-3 decision. The 3 that were you wouldn't have expected. Alito, Thomas, and Barrett. That was crazy. Then we had the big win for people saying that for Trump. It's for any president. Trump's only going to get to wield it for about a year. The next president's going to get that wield for 4 or 8 years. But people got to stop framing stuff as wins for Trump because Trump is almost out of here in more ways than one. That was the second case. And 2, the third case was on the Fed that he could not fire Dr. Cook until that good Adosian finished through the lower courts where they had those fake mortgage fraud claims. And then the fourth one, which from our perspective is actually probably the most interesting one, generally, is the mail-in votes. And they decided that that mail-in ballots that are postmarked before Election Day can be counted. The RNC was challenging it. They went through the Mississippi law, which allowed for ballots that was postmarked that came after to be counted. And what Barrett said was, who wrote the opinion, was there was, excuse me, there was nothing in the statute, in the federal statute, which said that you could not count the ballot. That's a massive loss for Republicans.
I agree. I was worried about that.
Yeah, it was 5-4. It was Barrett, Roberts, and the three justices. And that's it.
So the only thing I'll say about the Watson decision is that it strikes me as a decision that it should have received a unanimous vote from the justices, or even better, it shouldn't have even gotten to the court at all, because I think the language in the federal laws is clear enough about what states can do and what they can't do. And so Alito's argument about why the 5 justices voted in favor of the Mississippi law, a strange argument to me. I'm seeing here that he says that the ballots should be gathered by the states on election day because that is what the election day statute required when all voting occurred in person. Well, voting doesn't always occur in person these days. So that's all I've got. I don't think that...
Well, maybe it should be occurring in person.
It just shows you how far these unprincipled
Maggots.
conservative justices are willing to reach outcomes that advance the nefarious political agenda they have.
Nefarious.
Because if they were principled, they would have said,
no principles.
We're going to vote alongside the 5 that supported the Mississippi law.
Anybody else on that one? I have a request on the.
They have no principles.
Excuse me. Excuse me. On the geofence warrant case, Chatry versus US. Anything else on that? On the Watson versus RNC case? I don't even understand. I don't understand the rationale. I'll be honest with you. I don't understand the rationale for not counting votes that come in after election day, if they're postponed before election day. I really don't understand it. So this was a strange one for me. It should have been procuring more to Hurricane's point. It should have just not even got up there. That just to me, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Anything else on the voting rights one? I'm sorry, the mail-in balloting one? Okay, the other case, Sister Keisha wanted me to go. I can read from it. It's the Chatry versus United States. It was a 6-3 case, and they argued that a geofence warrant, that's a warrant that told Google to provide location data for cell phone users who were near a particular place during a specific time. It ruled that when they did that to obtain evidence against a man for a bank robbery, they conducted a search for Fourth Amendment purposes. And so they sent it back to the lower courts to determine whether or not that search was reasonable. So it's a Fourth Amendment case. They got all kinds of data. When you go to Google, they get all kinds of data from those searches. Is that anything else? Keisha, any questions on it? That was 6-3, and you had a dissent by Alito, Barrett, and Thomas, of course. Okay, so Liberty is asking for a roundup case. No one's really speaking about it. I guess I could say something. The government decides that when your grandpappy and your uncle use Roundup, the Supreme Court decided that even though they didn't tell you could cause cancer and he had cancer and died of a disgusting death, you're not allowed to sue Roundup or Monsanto. Billions of dollars of lawsuits will probably fail. And you had, I believe it was Gorsuch and Jackson were the two dissenters. Gorsuch has an evil company streak. My understanding, so sometimes he'll go against the big bad evil companies and he wants them to pay. But he's got real mommy issues. I don't know mummy.
No, can't know that.
Yep, that was his mummy. She was an EPA director under Reagan, and she was for the streets. She had gotten a divorce. She moved to D.C. She got a divorce. She had moved to D.C. and she was in the streets, boy. Manhattans, martinis, boulevardiers, white wines, red wines, beers, vodkas, Moscow mules, Collins, G&Ts, whiskey sours, amaretto sours. She was in the streets, dolled up, just getting run through by Dems and Republicans. I'm just telling you the story as it is. I'm not holding it. And when she broke, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't know where you were going. I wanted to hear your opinion on this. I'm looking at this failure to warn lawsuit, and I think it's huge.
Be quiet.
Go ahead.
He's in the middle of talking. What's wrong with you?
No,
What
he's
is
talking about.
wrong?
He's talking about the
Why would you interrupt him in mid-sentence when he
First lady,
was
we talked
telling
about
a story?
It's okay. It's fine. Go ahead, Trent.
No, it's not okay because I don't understand and I need to understand. So I'm asking the question, why do you do that? If someone is speaking, why do you feel the need or feel as though
I want his opinion
you're
on
doing it right now?
Okay, are you
I'm
done?
speaking. No, I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead.
That's rude, Trent. You gotta chill with that. That is rude. And I don't like it. You are an adult, and I should not be talking to you like you are my 13-year-old child that I don't even have. Exactly. So please don't be rude like you're 13 years old. Because you're not. No, we don't want to hear from you. Somebody else can speak. We don't want to hear from you right now. You're in punishment. You're in timeout.
Fucking huge case he just mentioned.
Did you just use profanity?
I just wanted his opinion on what he just spoke about. That's all.
When he was done, you could have asked.
Be quiet. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I wanted your opinion on Bear.
Well, now he's not even going to talk. So now we got to sit in this awkward silence because... Hey, let me just ask you a quick question.
Hello?
Where's your mom? Where's your mommy?
She's at her house. Can I ask the question because you guys
No.
are... Okay. No. It affects all of you, by the way. That failure to warn is significant. I just want to know if that takes away the lawsuits.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, I still miss him, brother, but still doesn't mean that I can't get frustrated with what I missed.
Just ask. He's an expert. He's looked at him and Hurricane have probably looked. I'm just asking. There's a $7.5 billion class action settlement that was supposed to go to consumers, based upon the 7-2 ruling that he was just. Does the failure to warn nullify those payments that were supposed to go to those Americans? It's just a question. I can't tell. And I'm looking it up. It doesn't. I'm looking it up like now. I didn't know about it until you said it. And the reason why I'm asking because that would have impact on a lot of things. If the failure to warn mechanism, like that's the Tylenol lawsuit as well. So if you're saying that companies no longer have a duty? That's what I'm trying to understand it. Does it mean that companies don't have a duty or the failure to warn you of the possibilities of the side effects of their things? It has automotive impact. I'm trying to understand, like, what does that mean?
So the issue, to my understanding, is that the EPA had already come to the conclusion that glyphosate did not cause cancer. And so even though tertiary information started coming out that maybe it did, it would not have, they had no duty to say that it might cause cancer because the EPA had already come to the decision that it hadn't. And so therefore it wasn't appropriate for them to sue that they failed to warn because the EPA had already decided that they didn't have a duty to do so. That's my understanding.
Sir Liberty, thank you for that explanation. Great. So, and do you know if that that nullifies the lawsuits then? So these $7.5 billion, that $7.5 suit is now not going to go out.
I'm not sure about the specifics of that lawsuit in particular. I know that this has really broad, sweeping implications for lots of other similar lawsuits to this one, but I don't know for one that had already. Do you have the specific, like plaintiff and year of that case you're referring to?
Put it in the chat because they talk about it.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Alright, so can we go back to the story?
Hello?
The mummy. How you say it? Mummy. I know. It's awful. Mummy story. Where's the mummy story?
Hello?
Thanks. The mullah. Where's the mullah, man? Come on, what's going on with the story?
Hello?
Forget it.
Hello? 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 Hello?
I don't know, Patty. That was right in the middle of the story. And someone asked a question right in the middle, so can't get back to the story.
This also kills the Google lawsuit. This kills the AI lawsuit. The way I'm reading it. And that's why I would love
Read on mute.
Well, y'all were just wanting to talk about the Supreme Court, and there's a Supreme Court case, and you're not saying anything. And I think this would kill, like Sir Liberty, it would kill the AI lawsuits as well.
Okay.
Well, does the EPA regulate the labeling of AI warnings?
What is going on?
Because this doesn't mean that you'd have no duty to warn anyone about anything. That's not what the decision was, you know.
Rainey, I actually do think you could connect it to data centers. The way, again, I'm not a legal expert. That's why I'm asking the opinion. But I actually do think you could connect this to some of the data center lawsuits as well. That's why when you said Gorgeous is something of a bad company killer, I'm like, whoa, this is massive. Auto lawsuits, class action lawsuits. Like, the way I'm reading it, again, I'm reading the Cliff Notes. I'm not going through the entire opinion. That's why I would love. I'll come back maybe when y'all want to talk about it. But from a corporate standpoint, that's probably the biggest thing of the day by far.
Or when
and it was 7-2.
Just come back when you've read more comprehensively. Because that might answer the questions that you're posing.
comprehensive reading. Thank you.
I don't know who this Amazing Grace person is, but they like to kill content.
I think you confused me with Trent.
Are you calling me a dodo because the ruling was last week? Fan? I didn't know it until you mentioned it.
Nobody calls you a dodo.
No, I was looking at the chat. I don't.
Oh,
I didn't know.
Trent,
I don't know.
You forgot. You gotta let the chat be the chat.
Yeah, I gotta let the chat be the chat. My bad.
Or respond in the chat. Yeah, you gotta drag the people.
No, I'm like, is Hurricane still here? Oh, Hurricane's gone. Or he would have said something. But no, that fucking Monsanto ruling is just unbelievable. And I don't know why it's 7-2. I'm just like, wow, stunning. And this, you want to talk about something, the Amazing Grace? You want to talk about something that affects you, especially older folks? Some of this shit
What makes you think I'm older? And you already said that you don't know about it, so.
I'm looking at the summary of the ruling on failure to warn, and that they didn't have a duty. Like, I don't know how you could say, after you realize something causes Hodgkin's lymphoma.
She already told you. But she already explained it to you, that once the EPA had decided that the agent was not carcinogenic, right, that removed the company's obligation to say, I'm including this agent, which is carcinogenic potentially, in my product. She explained it to you already. So why are you continuing? It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics of how it works where if new information starts to come out that maybe something is carcinogenic, like if there's a requirement to resubmit to the EPA. I don't know the specifics of how that works. All I know is that basically these court cases were basically juries of people coming to conclusions about whether or not something was carcinogenic or not, which is not really how the FDA and the EPA are structured to operate. We don't like leave that to juries of people to make decisions about whether or not something's carcinogenic. We have these organizations specifically designed to do that. So I think I generally agree with the decision in this case.
Yeah, because it's saying it is carcinogenic. It's just saying that the EPA didn't require it.
How are you defining whether or not something's carcinogenic?
What's going on? Oh my God, don't do it. Don't help. We just want to move on.
Yeah, I'll leave. Yeah, I just read it. It dismissed thousands of lawsuits. So the lawsuits are just dismissed. Great day for America. Y'all have a good one.
Bye. All right, cool. So, anybody else on this case, on the cases we was going through? All right, 1 second.
Hello, folks. How are you doing? Hello. Hello, Matt. No, I'm not. No racist slurs from me. No way. Anyway, good to hear from you all. The scores cases.
Pretty cool that we can, smoke marijuana and still retain our guns, right? That's something that I...
Cookie for not using...
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
Like a cookie for not using racial slurs?
I would never use racial slurs, ever. That's horrible.
I'm asking, would you like a cookie for that?
Yes, please.
Are you doing us a favor by refraining from using racial slurs to insult us?
I don't know. Is that something that you feel like that's a favor?
I'm asking you. You announced that you're not using racial slurs.
Okay.
So I just want to know if you want special treatment because of that.
I have never used them, Iron. How dare you? I have never.
Oh, that's a lie.
Those would be mean and hurtful words, and I don't use them.
Oh, okay. Who would they hurt?
I don't know. Whoever is hurt by them, apparently.
Oh.
Those are mean and nasty words. I would never use them.
So you believe that they're mean and nasty? Do you believe that they would hurt people?
Yeah.
You don't know who they would hurt?
No.
So then how do you know that they would hurt people if you don't know who they would hurt?
I don't know. I assume they would hurt somebody, right? I mean, because they're mean and nasty.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Alright, do we have any other updated news or any other topics to discuss in regards to the news? Otherwise, we can just go ahead and close the space and open up when more news comes available.
Hello?
Cool.
Hello?
See you guys later.
No, don't close it. I forget his name. I don't know if other people saw it. One of the J6ers decided to troll the BET Awards last night. He's holding up a sign telling something about black parents are the words and some shit.
Well, y'all see that Drewski skit, though?
Hold on one second. Can I finish my position? Yeah, so they were kicking him up and down the avenue. They took his signs. And, yeah, leave black people alone.
Yeah, they break the law. They almost fucking killed Jake Long.
The awards, I thought the
How did he get out of jail? I thought he had a $1 billion bail.
The Janet Jackson iconic, her presenting the Icon Award to Tiana Taylor. I was entertained. Pretty good award ceremony.
I was entertained.
Go through the BET Awards.
I'm not impressed. I'm still not impressed. Hello?
The Jake Lang stuff was so unimaginative. They lost. They lost. They lost. Like that's what the racists do now. They go and troll outside of the BET Awards.
Culture matters.
I couldn't even get. I was more upset from not cutting my shallots as fine as I wanted them last night. Like, oh shit, I should have cut them a little bit finer so I get more oils or more oil released when I sweated them in the pan. I thought that was so silly. That didn't. It wasn't even creative.
I missed it. I didn't see it. I don't even know what
Exactly.
I did not tune in last night. But anything else on BET Awards? Someone says RJ is the ultimate chaos agent at the BET Awards. And his antics became... Did he do something at the awards? No? Okay. Ray J.
Oh, Ray J. Oh, I was going to say the RJ on Clubhouse is...
you said RJ first, baby.
It's also...
It is RJ, is Ray, with a J. But yeah, Ray J, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the RJ on Clubhouse is a terrorist, but, that's a whole nother...
Leave Mr. RJ alone.
Drewski trolled him for about, I don't know, a minute. Drewski was a mess. He gonna he came out mocking the church. He did the flying preacher at the top of the show. He had a minstrel type choir. I thought it was disrespectful, but I mean that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna allow it. He made fun of Jay-Z. T.I. had a good performance. Shout out to, y'all don't know her, but my homegirl Hi-Hat was the choreographer. She did the damn thing. T.I. did good. He had the son, they had the fake car. Cardi B did her thing. She had the motorcycle. You know, I have a affinity for anything involved with motorcycles. So shout out to Cardi B. I think the East Coast dominated, no disrespect to all, the South and the West, but the East Coast definitely dominated the award show from the recognition of, damn it, what's her name? Sylvia Rhone. Sorry, I had to focus. Sylvia Rhone was recognized. She's from Harlem. Tiana Taylor again was recognized. The performers. I don't care much for French Montana, but shout out to Max B. He's home. He's the Wave God. He performed with Max B. So shout out to that. I think it was heavily East Coast dominated. Yeah, and for Janet to come out, I mean, they went crazy. Just anything with Janet. She's like, yeah, I'll come out and talk to the people. I thought she didn't have to do it. Yeah, I think they did an okay job this year. I usually don't watch because I'm out of that life, but somebody yelled upstairs, the BET Awards is on. I said, fuck it.
Fuck it. I got shit to do anyways. Motherfucking BET's on. Let's go.
Guess I'll try to watch it on replays. Oh, wait. This is the last year for the BET Awards?
Yeah, I did hear something like that, and we touched on it briefly, I think, in this room. I don't think it's the last year. I think they're going to change how they do things. I don't know. I got to do a little research for that.
Okay. What about this NFL Brandon guy from the 49ers? He fires his agent and refuses to show up to training camp. Is it the same guy that got in trouble or got suspended for hitting a person from the stands? You wanna?
No, he's not. That was a new dude that played Steelers. That was Metcalf. No, this is a guy that wants to come. He wants to come to Washington. He was really good for a couple of years, and he had a falling out with the team. And he's Jade Daniels' homeboy. And they played together in college. They're not releasing him, and they want to trade, and teams know they're going to release him. It's kind of but he's crashing out. So it's too bad. He's very talented. But yeah, it's not him. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what happened in that case. They probably had to pay that guy, and he probably wasn't allowed to say anything.
And it kind of went away.
Yeah, NDA, that sort of thing. Yeah. So. The other sports news is that there's an investigation for an NBA player. He was under investigation 2 years ago, played for the Pistons, Malik Beasley, that he was shaving points. This sports betting stuff, it's going to ruin, I'm telling you. It's going to ruin professional sports. And it's going to be, I'm telling you this sport first. Oh, by the way, Brazil-Japan is on. And let's get it. But it's going to ruin basketball first because it is the easiest one to do it. And the one where you think you won't get caught. So it's easier, It is not good. It's not good. I'm a freedom guy. Freedom, do whatever you want. It's going to ruin basketball first, and it's going to be sooner than people think if they don't do it. What they're going to have to do, and I'll be done after this, somebody's going to have to get caught and just get a lifetime ban without the possibility of reinstatement to send a lesson. You're not going to suspend people. That's not going to get people to do it. You're going to have to lifetime ban people.
They don't bring water?
It's really bad. It's very easy to shave points in the NBA. Very
How about
easy.
a tip?
You score 10 points, you know, minus
Bring water?
110,
How about a tip?
10 and a half over under. Your boys bet $100,000, $200,000 that you're going to be under. Oh, shit, coach, my knee hurt. I can't go back in. Don't nobody know if your knee hurt. You had 10 points. You had 8 points. You sit out the second half. You don't come back in. Nah. Mm-mm. It's really bad. And I'll end here, and then y'all go. It was very frustrating as a watcher, as a sometimes thinking person, is that the amount of money that these people make is not enough for them not to do it. It's insane to me. You this boy, you know, you in college, you shaving points, you doing stuff in college football, whatever. All you getting is a meal plan and a nice dorm room and a UNC pillow and some swag. You know, before NIL, I could see why people did what they did. I really can. You're making $10-15 million pitching, and you're making sure at least 2 people walk during your inning and a half, and you're betting $50,000. I'm not trying to brag on people. There are many people in this room right now, either through their bank accounts, their investment accounts, their retirement accounts, could come up with $50,000 at the end of the week. It is not a lot of money. And you're making $5, $6, $7, $8 million, and you bet $20,000. There are people in this room who've gone to the casino and lost $10,000 on blackjack. Regular middle class people. This sport, I'm telling you, this sports betting is going to ruin, that's a foul, you can't foul it. It's going to ruin American young men. It is worse than any of us can imagine. You go to the store, you see a little 20, 22-year-old deep in his phone. Oh, what you watching, your videos, listen to your SoundCloud? Looking at some yams on Instagram. Can I get to the yams? He got DraftKings open, trying to put parlays together for $25. That'll give him $8,000. How much you know? I'll be back. Hold on, yo, give me a second. What are you betting on? Oh, it's a competition in Germany. You can bet on how much salt is on the pretzel. How many twists is gonna be in it? It is. Let me just put it this way. I wish I could live longer, to the degree I want to live longer. I am so glad I am not 23 years old. I'm so glad. I remember when they transitioned from porn DVDs and VHSs to the internet. You didn't see your homeboy for 2-3 hours. You saw him 2-3 hours less. And he was up in the room. He was getting on CompuServe. He was getting on CompuServe, right? Now, they're not even interested in that, although some of them are. They're trying to get parlays on how many corner kicks Japan is going to have, how many yellow cards Brazil is going to have, and whether or not some dude in a sport named baseball they never watched is going to hit a home run in the first inning. It's really bad. I'll end here with a poem. There's a poem by the great Allen Ginsberg. I don't know if you all know the poem, but it's one of the most famous poems in the American canon. And the poem is called How. And Allen Ginsberg wrote this poem, one of the great poems, like I said, in American poetry. And of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix. Very famous poem. Anybody that studies poetry knows those two lines. Somebody needs to update that. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through DraftKings and FanDuel looking for an angry fix. That's actually what's going on. It's really bad, First Lady. I'm done. I spoke to you.
A slight edit, I would add DraftKings and Crunchyroll, but
I've seen in some cases where the young men don't want to bet anymore because they see what the players are actually doing. Because they're beefing. They're like, I bet the over. He or she, because WNBA, y'all gotta watch it too, they're doing it. I bet the over, she's under. I bet the under, he or she's over. I'm done with this shit. I think losing their minds, looking at stats, making logical bets, and watching the player. One guy was like, he played an interview of the young lady. She's like, yeah, during halftime, I got on my phone to talk to my old coach. He said, if you don't get the fuck out of here, you was talking to your old coach or you was checking the fucking numbers. Why do players have their phones on the side of the court at halftime or any of that? So, while I do agree with the ban, there's still some young men that are just, and I'm glad for them. They're throwing the towel like, I'm not betting no more because this is crazy. They see it.
That's the only thing that'll save it. Is it people see that you can't trust the stats and predictions and what you think because of the craziness of the players, or that the players are betting. If people believe the players are in on it, then it'll get you out. Because otherwise otherwise you're not betting the sport. You're betting how the players are betting, and that extra level creates a certain kind of distance, or alienation that they don't want. But it's really bad, Brother Devon. I mean, it's really, really bad. And I don't know what anybody can do about it because you hook up to your bank account. I mean, if you got paid today, I don't know how much people make in their checks. What's a good amount after your check? $3,000 for the 2 weeks? Say you make $3,000 every 2 weeks, $6,000.
oh my,
You get, I don't know how much is that. A lot? Is that too little?
that's too much.
Oh shit.
I
I apologize. I apologize. But let's say you made $2,000 in your check. That could be gone by the end of this Brazil-Japan match. And they just take it.
Yeah,
but you know what they did? Oh, go ahead, Igor.
No, before, you need to go to the shady street to the bed, You want to watch porn, you need to go HD, Now everything is on the phone. So I agree with you, man.
I was gonna say what they did at least in my area during not this past March Madness, but the year before, when they saw the volume of player props in the March Madness tournament last year,
You should pay them the
in
Martian to Tehran.
most of the states around me, they completely banned player props in college basketball. Like, you cannot bet a player prop in college basketball anymore. They're gonna have to start doing this in the professional sports. Like, the only things that they're gonna start allowing, I think they should, if players keep gambling, is like the futures, like who's gonna win the Super Bowl, how many wins such and such gonna win, or how many wins this team gonna get, who's gonna make the playoffs, and probably just over under straight up, like a
Dr. Lyle Carter, have you been BIPOCing?
Absolutely not.
So you said volume and not volume like an Indian. You said the volume. Did y'all hear that? You said volume. That's what they say in New Delhi. What's going on? You been BIPOCing?
No, she's just been eating kimchi for breakfast. I'm done speaking.
Wait, the kimchi has her speaking like an Indian?
I think it was the gateway. It was the gateway food.
I did try some mango chutney.
Oh, there we go.
on
Wait, what's the
what do they
relationship
call it?
between kimchi and Indian?
I don't know. It's just a gateway. You know, when you try new foods from different people, you know, why not try some curry?
Oh, I see. Yes, I see. Oh, okay. I was like, I know brother does not think kimchi is Indian. Like, I know this app has ruined brains.
No, no, I'm not that gone. I may be buck broken, but I'm not delusional.
Yeah, no more player props. They gotta start that.
Are they paying the college players now? Are they getting paid now?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, they're getting some.
Okay.
But you know, it's limits on it. But they do have NIL. But the sports books, if you let them, it's player props, game props. This is all kinds of stuff. There was a good article. I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't know if you guys saw it. I know you didn't. There was a profile in the New Yorker on like the last bookie in America. On the last bookie in America. I don't know if anybody saw it, but he had run an offshore account. And there's something about, and this is the legalization. This is the thing with legalization. You know, people say legalize stuff. I don't know. Some of the trade-offs from legalization, at least in sports betting, I don't think it's been worth it. Now maybe it's been for the state. They bring in a lot of tax revenue, but it's been really bad.
I agree. I was at a baseball game the other day, and I was at a baseball game for like work or whatever, and it was like 3 white boys sitting behind me. They were teenagers, so they had to be like 15, 16. And one of them was gambling in the stadium because at Nats Park in DC, it's connected to an MGM sports book. So you can't really sports bet in DC widely. You have to be within a mile radius of the sports book at the park. And he was in there gambling on if the Wizards were going to take 8-8 to Bansa, if he was gambling on the game, home runs, all of that like during the game. It was
Gonna say at least, I mean, this is not, it's kind of a plus, but not really. I was thinking about when Spike Lee was in Mo Better Blues and he went to see the bookie and he used Spanish foods to to write down his bets. He's like, Guadudo, avocado pollo. That shit was hilarious. But remember what happened to him? Remember when he couldn't pay the bill and they fucked him up? At least that's not happening.
That's
and
true.
they
Although, Devon, what would you rather have? Devon, what would you rather have? Would you rather have your fingers broke or your 401k, which was already woefully behind, drained because you were betting on the Spurs and they lost a 29-point lead in Game 3?
Take my pinky.
Exactly.
Take my fucking pinky.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Zeke never played again, right? Because Giant wanted to bet, and Zeke kept bailing him out.
Bleak
kept bailing him out. Bleak Gilliam kept bailing him out. Yeah, they need to go back to how it used to be. Like, give up a body part, not your 401k.
Yeah, the 401k is good. I mean, I knew a guy. This was actually a different thing. I mean, well, I don't get on people's business, but let's just say he no longer owns his home, and his wife left him, and he no longer has his retirement. He got kicked out of casinos, so he started wearing costumes. You know, once you get kicked out of a casino, and you're signed out, you get trespassed, and you can be arrested. He'd been arrested going into a casino. What I was going to say was, you know, they can do it, but they have to come to, like, maybe bet on the winner of the game. They gotta get rid of the props. They also gotta get rid of the, like, in-game betting. People go wild on the in-game betting. I don't know if people know what the in-game betting is, but on these apps now, it's just like it sounds. You can bet in the midst of a game. So the odds are constantly changing during the game. So you're watching a basketball game. It's the Spurs-Knicks. The score is 47-45. You can bet on the over-under for the rest of that half, for the rest of that game. And after every shot attempt, it's It's updated. It's insane.
Every quarter, you can bet on the spread of
Every quarter.
You can bet like will this player laugh or like touch his head. It's insane.
Yes, because they gotta figure something out. But the sports books are making good money, so they're not going to change anything unless Congress makes them change it. But the Republicans are too busy trying to find ways to get the black boys, especially, to not make money. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a bill in Congress that's basically trying to change NIL. Are you guys following this? Nick Saban was testifying. He said the reason why he retired was because players were being paid and effectively he couldn't wrangle them anymore like a slave driver. Did y'all see the testimony? Utterly insane. But Republicans freed the slaves, so whatever.
Where are the evangelicals when you need them? We need some order around here. Why are they not trying to ban the game?
There's a wing of it in the manosphere, but they also link it up to trad wife and no women voting and all the other things. So it's hard to, it's all entangled. Anyway, I think our segment's done, Dr. Lowry.
You saw that
No, you go.
There is a rumor that Golden State want to take AD and LeBron James in the trade.
Whatever they're doing, they need to leave us out of it. We don't want Jimmy Butler for 6 months. We like it.
Yeah, they want to trade Jimmy Butler, actually.
No, thank you. The Wizards should deny any trade attempts by the Lakers. We do not want, the Warriors. We don't want none.
I want to go back to what Van said earlier. They gotta hold these players accountable. If they know it's being done, and ban their asses. Send a message to all sports. The athletes are obviously betting. They're obvious, and it's crazy how it's taking online people to. I see it on IG all the time. I'm not gonna lie. I used to. What was it? Prize Picks. Prize Picks was my shit. And then they banned it in my state. I'm like, what the fuck? And they came back, but by the time it came back, I'm done. I don't fuck with none of that shit no more. I can't, because it is bad. It's really bad. You see what the players are doing. People talk about the refs. No, watch these players. Watch what they're doing. If you really are into it, you'll see.
So there was some good news on this front. I said I was done, but we didn't talk about this. I think it was interesting. So I don't know if people know, but there's a team called Texas Tech. They're a very good football team, college football team. They're a much better engineering school. You see, if you're from Texas, the engineering programs at Texas Tech are better than those at Stanford, MIT, Caltech, Duke, Johns Hopkins, and Carnegie Mellon. So even though they have a good football team, you really want to go there for engineering, because the engineers at Texas Tech are way more coveted than those coming out of Stanford and MIT and Caltech. Anyway, he had been caught, he had been caught up.
Did they panic and say that motherfucking John Kitover recording us again, putting us on his YouTube live? Let me see. Did they boom it? No, my phone crashed.
Israelites had to face before they made it to the promised land, compared to
Hello?
the Brazilians. Brazil's in trouble.
Did they close it? It keeps crashing.
You said Brazil was in trouble?
Yeah.
So my daughter just sent me something. I know I mentioned it, we all mentioned it, but the heat in Europe, people are dropping dead. People are dropping dead. I hope we don't get what they got right now.
Well, we got AC. They don't have AC.
Well, their grid is failing.
Huh?
Their power grid is also failing in some parts. So they have AC in Europe.
Not a lot. No, much less than here. That's one of the problems.
Cool. Like we have our cooling centers. Yeah, it's bad. Where have you heard to go? I think I'll pull on to you. When I hit 100 in New York for a couple of days this week, so it's going to jump pretty crazy.
Oh, I'm sure you could exist under the shade of your banner. You'll be fine. Just raise the championship banner and all of you could be cool.
Hey, Divine, I went to see the trophy at Tiffany's yesterday.
Nice.
But you know what? The line was like 4 hours, and I said I'm not doing that, so I went upstairs anyway, saying I had to buy some baby rattles and things, which is on the same floor. If you live in New York, you know these hacks, right? I went up to the 6th floor where there were baby things, and I took pictures anyway.
Nice. Yeah, I thought that was dope. I was like, oh wow, they're displaying it at Tiffany's.
But there were people waiting for like 4 or 5 hours. It was incredibly weird. I mean, that was a long time.
Well, why did you put it in Puerto Rico? Sorry, I was going to ask her,
Doesn't Tiffany's make the trophy? I thought. And they engrave it, I'm pretty.
Oh, that fun fact. Okay. Go ahead, bro. Somebody was saying something. Alvarado took the trophy to Puerto Rico. I mean, they all have replicas, so.
I was questioning that because he was showing it at the same time that Alvarado took it. But apparently, the Tiffany one is the one they're going to be placing the team name on.
That's the real one, yes.
Right, that's sort of the real one. But at this point, they're all like real because like no name is on any of them. So, they're all sort of real replica.
Right.
How are you doing, guys? Why is everyone muted now?
Who's that?
I'm Malik. Nice to meet you.
How are you, sir? we're watching the game. We're talking about this, that, and the other. But you can speak, Malik. Malik, you can speak.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to talk to Ed Soji. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but like the one with the Che Guevara profile picture. Are you there?
Just ping him into another room, bro. We're having a combo. Yeah, keep going.
Is it the build of the Japanese that gives, and I'm not being disrespectful, low center of gravity? They seem to be faster and more strategic. Because I heard you say Brazil's in trouble. Can you build
Not
on
because
that?
of that. It's just the Brazil team is not as good as it's been in years, generally. But Brazil should probably still win. I don't know what the odds were.
That'd be some upset, right?
Yeah, they're plus 400. They're the big underdogs here.
Somebody's betting.
I got money on Brazil, England, and Mexico.
You weren't here for the whole betting conversation, players, game manipulation, point shaving.
I don't. Yeah, soccer ain't my thing. Can I go back one? Are y'all on soccer? Tia ain't here. Tia's been texting me. I've got something.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, Ben, I had to do some research because I was shocked by this this glossfate ruling. Now I see how it happened. And Massey is the one who put it out there. The Bear had set aside $7.6 billion to settle this lawsuit. They had already thought they lost. They'd already paid out, I think, $11 billion. That might be internationally in lawsuits on Roundup. So they thought they were going to lose. What they did, and there's a great breakdown by Brian Allen of the New York, the Huffington Post broke it down wonderfully. They lobbied all sides, the EPA, the Trump administration, Congress, to the tune of $9 million. And then Trump in February put glossfate on the National Defense Act, right, to shield it from being sued. Right. So that's how. Okay.
It's not.
All right.
Let me ask you a question. Did you read any of the Kavanaugh's opinion?
No, I didn't read Kavanaugh's opinion. But I read. So RFK Jr., like his thing has been going against lawsuit. That's why I was so shocked when you said, like, I was like, wait, what? He's been talking about glossate for years and how it's cancer causing.
Well, like he may have been talking about it, but there's no consensus that it causes cancer, including from the EPA, across administrations, including European agencies and Asian agencies. There's no scientific consensus that it causes cancer, and therefore the EPA does not require them to list it. And so the case had everything to do with the relationship between state law and federal law. And federal law trumps state law, no pun intended. Furthermore, the cases and settlements with Roundup, many of them continue to go on because they're not about the failure to warn. All the class action is not about failure to warn, which is why Bayer is going to still pay out $7+ billion.
Okay, maybe.
No, it's not maybe. It's not maybe. You just learned about the case an hour ago from me. I've been reading about it for years. Excuse me.
Okay.
You just learned about it an hour ago from me. Yes or no?
I didn't know. I learned about the ruling on the case an hour ago.
Oh my God.
From you. I didn't learn about the case an hour ago from you. No, I knew about the case.
Hello?
Maybe that they're not going to continue paying.
Hello?
The settlements
Hello?
are all about the failure to warn with glyphosate.
I grant you that. They
There's nothing to grant. That's what Bayer said. Have you seen Bayer's? Let me ask you a question. Have you seen what Bayer said since the ruling?
Yeah, Bears asked for to dismiss some of the lawsuits about the failure to warn. I'm giving you that.
There's nothing to give me. That's what I said, and you said maybe.
Yeah. Well, I said I don't know if all 7.
You just want to argue. TT is right. You just want to argue.
No, I don't want to argue. I'll give you. You're right. You're right. You're right. But what is telling? Now, for one, the internationally, glyphosate is a level percentage.
It depends which body. Oh, that's right. There's 2 bodies in the world: the EPA and quote internationally. So when I give you the leading European agency and it doesn't say that, then what?
No, you're correct. But
there's not 2 bodies in the world internationally in the U.S. I said there is not consensus.
Okay. The IARC?
They have no effect on American law.
I grant you that. What I'm saying is that their own internal study, this is why I thought that this was a slam dunk case. Their own internal study showed that it caused cancer.
That's not what the case was about. That's what I'm saying. No, it's not a slam dunk case. The case was about the relationship between federal law and state law. It's not about whether it actually causes cancer. You should read it.
I have. I mean,
what is the relevant state? What's the relevant state? 1 second, Ade. What's the relevant state? What state was it?
Missouri is the guy.
What did the Court of Appeals say?
I don't know what the Court of Appeals said.
There you go. You should go and read what they said.
And read the ruling. Read the ruling as well.
Look, there's what the ruling says and what these people, the bullshit that they put on paper, and then there's fucking reality.
But you're not arguing what the case was. So you can argue that you think it caused cancer and stuff, but don't say you thought the case was a slam dunk if you don't know what the case was about.
I understand failure to warn. Failure to warn is used in a lot of class actions.
It's not about failure to warn. It's about specific law with the EPA. That's what Sir Liberty was trying to tell you. Is what she said.
Yeah, I saw that, and to that point, yes, I believe. But here's just generally speaking, if I sell a drug from my nutrition store, and everybody keeps coming back and saying, man, like this is causing liver problems, or this is causing gut problems.
It's not about that. It's not about.
I know. Just hang on.
Yeah, but how can you be bringing something that it's not about?
What do you mean? What do you mean? If you knowingly, I'm just talking about corporate America. I'm just talking about business. If you knowingly, and this is like who we are as a country, because even the EPA in their ruling, they say it's not that it's glyphosate is a carcinogen. There's no doubt about that. The way it's the manner in which it's applied, if used as directed, that's the little loophole that they're playing with. If used as directed, then it's not a carcinogen. Okay, trying to tell that to, land. I mean, these are relatively landscapers aren't always the most highly paid people or the most educated people, and if you know that for the most part, the way that your product is applied is affecting the workers and kids that are going and playing in the grass, and you don't warn anybody that, hey, based upon this, I have a duty to warn you, it's really slippery for our country. That's why that's the reason why I was shocked by the ruling that it was 7-2. But Massey talks about how they
ruling has nothing to do with what you just said. Is what Ade was trying to tell you.
Okay. So how did he win the ruling in Missouri? Why did he win the case?
Because it was a state law. Okay, so let me explain the difference. So in America, we have two systems of court. We have a law. We have state law. We have local law. We have state law and federal law.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So he won in Missouri because it was a state case. He ultimately loses because of a federal law. And then we have a thing in America called the Constitution. In the Constitution, there's a clause. It's called the Supremacy Clause. Have you heard of it before? Have you heard of the Supremacy Clause?
Yes.
Okay. There's your answer.
Okay.
The federal law does not. It said that the EPA they did not fail to warn because the EPA did not deem they had to warn. Because if you read, I'm on the EPA's website. This is the first line. No, it's not the first line. Sorry. No evidence. Let me read it to you. No evidence that glyphosate causes cancer in humans. The agency concluded that glyphosate is not likely to be carcinogenic in herbicides. Therefore, they don't have to put the warning label by the law. They rule on the law, not what Massey says, not what RFK says, not the fact that, as you said, landscapers are not generally intelligent, well-read, and educated people. It's amazing how I'm called the elitist, but people like Trent say that kind of stuff all the time, and I never do. It's just amazing how people heard that. It's just amazing. But anyway, that's how the law works.
Yeah, I get it, but I think...
No, you don't get it. You just asked me. I would confused.
Listen, and the reason why I'm bringing this to y'all's attention is this can be used in other cases, especially, you know, talk about these AI data centers.
It cannot be used in that. It's a specific law that it was ruled under.
It's about pesticides and fungicides. It's called FIFRA, okay?
It's FIFRA. It's a specific law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with AI. AI is not covered under FIFRA.
The way that, okay, I know that, you know, you know all.
Bro.
I know that you know all.
She's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Hold on. I do know all because I read the opinion.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too.
Oh, so you're looking at Kavanaugh's opinion?
No, I'm not looking at Kavanaugh's.
Then you're not looking at it.
Okay. So look, what I'm trying to say, look, as Americans, seriously, there are certain things that these companies at times know. It's in their documents. They see it. They know it's happening.
Stop talking to us like we're retarded. This is very insulting. Everything that you're about to say, we know. Let me say something. As Americans, there's stuff in their documents and so forth. We know that, Trent. In this particular case, it had to do with FIFRA. That's it. You don't need to tell us that they find ways around liability, that they cut corners, that they take profit, that they use money for the defense. Everything you said, we've known since we were 14. Remember you said we should stop learning at 14? You're not teaching us anything.
All right, well then that's
Thank you. Cool. Then let's go back to our combo. You're not bringing anything.
Well, sure.
Well, let me tell you, companies cut corners and hurt people to make profit. Yes, I also was 11 years old. That's when I learned that. We're adults too, Trent. God damn. I'm looking at it. You're looking at his opinion? No. So why'd you say you were looking at it?
I'm looking
You don't know what FIFRA is. What is FIFRA?
I don't know what FIFRA is. No, you're right. I don't know what FIFRA is. I'm looking at how the case came about, that what these Americans have alleged, what they have gone through, how it's gone. This has been going on since, I think, 2018. And a lot of these people were looking for these payouts, and they have found a loophole.
It's not a loophole.
This is the law. Trent, this is what the law says. Basically, FIFRA lays out a scheme whereby the federal government comes up with things that are
the EPA comes up with things that are potentially cancer-causing. The EPA has not done this in the case of glyphosate because they have said the evidence is not there.
No. They have the evidence.
No. They have concluded that the evidence is not sufficient to support this sort of warning. So this case is simply about the fact Missouri has its own failure to warn law, and basically the court said, this is why it's 7-2 because it's not as complicated as you think. Basically, the Supreme Court said, no, that law is trumped by the federal law in effect, okay, by FIFRA. So if FIFRA says no label is required, no label is required. It's as simple as that. It might be terrible. It might be an awful, awful thing, but it's a pretty basic ruling.
I think that, the reason I think it's terrible, because you can say this about some of these things that are going on, these people that are complaining about AI data centers. And no, there's no EPA warning on water that runs through a data center, right? But like if you see dead birds and dead frogs, that there's something going on. And that's my difficulty with this is like how easily we can be coerced. But if you guys don't think it's a big deal,
it's not that we didn't say. Okay, so now you're doing the thing where since you didn't know what you were talking about, you're trying to make us feel like we're the horrible people. We didn't say it wasn't a big deal, and we didn't say that people shouldn't get restitution. What we're saying is that torts require law, and in order to sue and get money, it has to be legal. That's what the case is about. We agree with you on the moral claims. I think Roundup is awful. I don't use Roundup in my house. I don't think. The guy came this morning. I actually talked to him. But we agree with you. But in this case, it's about FIFRA. You don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
No, you didn't get it because you were saying it could be used for AI. FIFRA can't be used for AI. Stop.
No.
Stop. You're doing a thing where you don't know what you're talking about.
No. Which is why I asked you earlier. I was like, wait, how did they get to this? All right.
Well, if you had let me finish, I would have told you that.
Oh, my bad.
But you had to interrupt me, like you just did a game. So I'm now done. Go ahead and explain to us how the FIFA ruling fits AI.
It fits AI. It fits all things. It's the way that you can coerce the judiciary, and they can be bought as well. They are being bought as well. The administrations obviously can be bought, and things that are really, really simple. Like we've known that Roundup cause cancer for quite some time, and we know that there are some effects with some of these things that are being built around us. And when these companies have evidence, like in the case of Tylenol, which I know nobody wants to talk about, but when their own documentation shows that they know that there is a problem, but instead of acknowledging and warning the public, which they actually kind of have in some cases, in the case of Tylenol, instead of warning the public about the dangers and what they are seeing, they package up the company and sell it to somebody else. And that's what I think is sometimes terrible about corporate America and not trying to protect, this nation and our own government, which sometimes does not protect us. And people like JFK, as crazy as he is up there screaming about how bad
JFK is dead. You mean RFK Jr., correct?
RFK Jr. Sorry. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, that's it.
Of course, that's it. I put some ant traps down the other day. There's borax in it. There's no label on it saying that borax can be fatal. Should I be able to sue?
Label on it that says, dude, they're just.
Okay, under what? What law? You need a law, Trent. Do you not know? I thought you worked in industry. You know you can't just sue?
I do. No, so on your rat, you're talking about rat traps?
It's an ant trap.
Yeah, ant traps. It should have a warning that if ingested of what to do.
It does not.
Does it? Okay.
So what can I sue under? What can I sue under?
Well, it's not on the food shelf. Let me look at mine. I got some too. I want to see what mine says now. Now that you said that, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So stupid.
No one's ever thought of these things but you until in Clubhouse last week. As if people don't know this. Like, this is like basic law, bro. Oh, insane.
I thought he said it'll come out of the FIFA. I mean, what?
FIFA? Oh yeah, FIFA. That's right. Everything's
That's what
under.
he said.
Yeah,
He said it comes under.
You guys didn't know that everything is covered under the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act? You guys didn't know that?
No.
I guess the anthrax would actually be. But you know, I cut myself the other day. Somehow I got a nit. I was opening something. I cut myself by a packet. It was a hard corner, and it started bleeding. And I got a bruise on my finger. I guess I should be able to sue because there was no failure to warn label.
Look at mine. Looking at my ortho. There's a fucking massive warning label of.
Well, that's on yours.
Yeah.
Not on mine.
Huh.
Is borax fatal? Can borax be fatal?
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
Wait, you're talking about FIFRA and you don't know if borax can be fatal? This app is insane. This app is insane. By the way, for those of you who are catching it, borax is exactly what Joyce fed Jonasi. Yeah, I bring it all home. Nobody can bring it home. Like, bam. Let me get somebody's back channel.
Put it in the chat. I said, Jonasi almost met his demise when Joyce hit him with the ball. Yo, Joyce is crazy. Joyce threw that shit on the right.
Shit, though, that was one of the best looking plates of food I've seen on TV.
Long time.
She made that thing look good, didn't she?
It looked good.
With that stewed chicken, I don't know what.
I can't believe the doctor went along with it.
Look, the things people do for money. Money, 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 money. She said, Jonasi had a heart attack. He said, okay. He took that brown, but why all the African movies the money in that brown envelope?
This Harris, borax, ant trap killer. It got a big ass warning label on it.
I don't have the one you have.
What you got? Is it not? That does get. You're right.
Yeah, you're bored, yo. Go read a book. You're bored.
No, I'm just saying. I'm looking at them. I just pulled them up. I'm not even looking at mine. I'm looking at the ones like that you can buy. They all have warning labels on them. Anyway, the point wasn't. It was like we just got to do better as a country. We do have a lot of things that are poisoning the environment. We do have very high cancer rates. There are things, even in our cars. Cars do emit radiation. There are things that we need to be aware of, and like as people try to as companies, because companies are just a group of people, trying to keep the group of people that you're selling your product to in safe. And this one really, really disappoints me. I feel very badly for those people.
You understand?
Where can you give us the studies? Where can you give us the conclusive stuff? So we can't go by. Just so you know, for multi-billion-dollar lawsuits and policy, we can't go by everybody knows. So just drop in the chat for us where you have the definitive proof. So I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Just drop it. Because if it's just everybody knows, we can't use the Phaedra Parks School of Law, a body of law. I don't know if it's addictive law or casuistic law. We can't go by the Phaedra Parks body of case law, so it would be casuistic law, to say everybody knows. So just drop it in. Yeah, just give us 3 definitive studies or overwhelming studies where we have it. Because I've been looking since you talked. I can't find any.
That's one more thing. I'm glad you said that. You notice that you use, especially AI, the very first thing.
I'm not using AI.
No, I'm using AI.
Well, I'm not using AI, so don't say you're using. Yo, do you hear do you hear the language? You just said, do you know you're using AI? I'm not using AI.
Okay, I was using AI. I apologize.
Don't move away. No, don't move away. Just give us 2 to 3 studies. That's all. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Just give it to us.
Okay, I'll throw them in the chat.
Hello, everyone.
Anyhow.
Hello, Neil.
Daniel.
There's two of them. There's 2 of them in the chat. But what I was going to say, you'll notice if I used Google originally to do it, and right at the top of Google from the EPA, it says glyphosate does not cause cancer. And that's all it says. Like it's been edited, and you're being pushed towards that.
I'm not being pushed towards anything.
No, I'm telling you that it's being pushed towards that. There is a reason that the algorithm is pushing towards the EPA saying glyphosates do not cause cancer. This is one of the dangers of when your government and people inside your government.
Hold on, Trent. We don't need to do the meta. So, what are these studies saying?
I don't know. I just pulled them up first 2 I could find. You can look at them.
No, I asked you to give. What? But I just joined War Room. How the fuck did that happen? Lord, I hate when that. This is by accident.
So one of them is rats, right?
Oh my God, Trent, you gave us a study on rats.
Yeah.
Because they used it on rats to show what it would do with humans.
Are you joking? You can't be serious.
No, I'm not joking.
Oh, so whatever happens to rats in a lab happens to humans?
They often use rats as a way to find what causes cancer. Yes.
Wait, are you actually being serious? You think that
yes,
this is dispositive? Wait, are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. No, yes.
Lord have mercy.
Rats and other types of animals are often used as test cases to figure out what the reaction is, if something's causing a neurological problem. Yes, but unfortunately for the rats, they are often the best of cases.
So you're saying that rats and humans are so biologically similar that if it happens to a rat, it happens to a human?
He said neurological studies.
It's not. Yeah, well, they often do use them in neurological studies.
Neurological studies.
They've used the rats in the cases of I can't say it, Tylenol, acetaminophen, to show that the neurological development problems. Yes, rats are close to us genetically. That it's not always 1-to-1. But if something causes cancer or is toxic to a rat or a dog or a chimpanzee, it's likely.
So can I ask you something, Trent?
You can't say or a rat or a dog or a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Well, they're all.
That was absurd.
Okay.
So Trent, let me just ask you something. If I give a rat the amount of, let's say, whatever it is, glyphosate that I would give a human, is that, because that's what they did in this study. Don't you see that could be a very significantly higher dose in a rat than it would be in a human?
Yeah.
So that's why you don't just use rat studies, because you can't just extrapolate, because that's what a lot of them do. They basically sort of say, okay, we gave this rat this dosage, but the dosage is really important, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's why your study doesn't go to where you want it to.
You don't like the study? That's fine with me. But that's also why you have multiple. we have multiple cases of
Oh,
humans
I'm real.
with the same type of cancer, I can't say it, lymphoma, same type of cancer that are in the same line of work. A lot of these people are landscapers and use the same type of. What are you talking about? That's what the class action is.
How many is in that? That doesn't tell me anything. That's numeric. So what is the numerical significance? So not only are you a zoologist, not only are you a biologist, neurologist, you're also a demographer and statistician. You know, you like to talk about me like I act like I know everything. Do you know you're the one in here who acts like you know? Do you? I just want to. This is a meta. I apologize. Trent, do you know you act like a know-it-all? To be honest, do you know you do?
I do know that. But yes.
Okay, sure. All right, cool. So let's go on. I got. Hold on, let's go on. So you gave me a study for rats. Cool. So you gave me a study for rats.
Yeah.
And somehow that trumps all the other studies that people have done with humans.
No. It doesn't trump all the studies, but you take everything in correlation. When you got, there's thousands of these people.
What do you mean in correlation? What does that take everything in correlation?
Okay, so it happens in rat.
Wait, what does that mean to take things in correlation? Break that down.
Okay. So if rats develop a certain type of cancer, right, with a certain type of doses, and then you notice in humans that are all doing the same type of work, right, that they are more often than not getting the same types of cancer. You can surmise based upon, you don't have to give, little children, glyphosate to see if they develop cancer, because that would be mean and unusual. But you can surmise just based upon that hey, maybe
that's
there's
how
something
science works. You can surmise. So let me ask you a question, Trent. Well, let's go to.
Yeah, that's how we figured out.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Are there any I'll just go through some basics. Are there any metabolic differences between rats and humans?
Yes, absolutely.
So, okay. What about organ function?
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
What about immune response?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So how can I then just take what happens in rats and translate it to humans?
You can't. That's not only the step. That's why I gave him all. There's two studies. I don't think they were both rats. I don't think the George Mitchell one's the second one, the same one.
Oh, well,
again, but we're taking. I don't know. I didn't read it. I didn't have time.
No, let's stop. So let's go to the other one. You can't cite something and then say, I don't know what it was.
I didn't. You said, give me something, and I got you something. Oh,
I want you to give me something that you knew about, not just Googling. You didn't even know it was rats. Now you're defending rats. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Hold on a second.
Because you're from New York. I want to ask you this.
No, hold on. Real quick. What's the success rate of pharmaceuticals and therapies that work on rats for humans? What's the success rate? What do you think?
No, I very
but based on what you said, over 50%, right?
Over 50% what?
If it was successful on rats, it'd be successful on humans. Because you said you could just correlate it.
Oh, no.
And they shared it. You mean no.
I wouldn't say that. Just because
your whole point. Wait a minute. Okay, now I'm confused. I thought your whole point was rat models are so similar to humans that we can extrapolate. And so if we can use it, 1 second, if it shows it in rats, it would work in humans. So if it works in rats, it works in humans.
No, you just said two different things. Okay.
No, I didn't.
Sort of. I said if it causes cancer in rats or animals, usually it can cause cancer in humans. Now, there is a difference. When you said if there is a successful animal trial on, like, when you said successful, that's like a successful, like, vaccine. If there's a successful vaccine on rats, does that mean there's going to necessarily be a successful vaccine on humans? No. I'd actually say that's probably pretty low.
Again, your claim was you can take a rat model and put it on to humans. If it causes cancer in rats, lots of things. Wait. If it causes cancer in rats, it causes cancer in humans.
There is a strong indicator, right? If you have a problem, any sort of problem, like I said, it could be cancer, neurological problem, some sort of development problem. If it causes a problem in rats, there is some likelihood, that's why we use lab rats, that it could happen in humans. But again, it's not just the rats. We also have thousands of landscapers, good, hard-working, sometimes the lowest paid amongst us, and yes, sometimes the least educated, that have been using this weed killer and have developed this cancer. And I'm just going to say, because you're from New York, it's the same way that we, figured out that a lot of people that responded to 9/11 developed this 9/11 disease, 9/11 syndrome. My wife called me. I got to grab this. I'll be back.
Of course you do. You're done talking, you can't talk, you can't listen. Yeah, of course. You get to get your dumb shit out. The rest of us have to listen to you. Then you're going to come back and talk, come back and talk, come back. And this is the person First Lady missed. I can't believe y'all missed Trent. Trent is horrible for the app. He is horrible for the room. And now that he's in the state that he's in, he's actually worse. He needs to get a fucking job. Respectfully.
Is he in a different state? He's not in Texas.
Yeah, he's in Texas. Oh, he's unemployed. Different state in his life.
I thought that would give him more. It'd be expensive. No, a little bit more.
The arrogance and laughing at me and calling me a know-it-all is, at this point, annoying. He can't read a book, admittedly. And wants to lecture other people.
That was Trent, everybody. Trent versus Patty's property. First Lady, Tira, Neoliberal, Igor, Ban, Divine, Tiandria. That was the show, everybody. Another banger brought to you by Ban the Goat, Isaiah the Professor of bullshit.
I hate to be meta.
Everything is projection with this guy, especially at Hominem.
People will talk about books and novels and humanistic inquiry as if it's...
Hello?
Waste one time. Cool, I got it. That's fine.
Hello?
People like Trent don't know anything. They don't know science. They don't know social science. They don't know humanistic inquiry. They don't know philosophy. They don't know biology. They don't know chemistry. They don't know anything. This is a man that said that AIs and rocks think.
They think.
Don't also forget, he said that the alligators have a more unconsciousness, a moral.
I didn't say alligators have consciousness. I said the dog. I said that dogs. I think dogs
He's back.
have morality. But
He's back.
Let me get. I didn't say alligators. I said all about reptiles. I said I do think that dogs have morality. I've seen it. But let me just say this.
Morality. So dogs have a sense of evil. Where did dogs acquire their sense of evil from?
I have seen dogs not attack kittens. And
that doesn't mean it's moral.
So, Trent, can you just answer?
I don't know why.
Trent, can you just answer the question asked of you? It's really hard to follow the conversation. Ben asked, wait a second. Ben asked you, where do dogs get their sense of evil from? That's the question, sir. Why can't you answer it?
The original question was a sense of morality, and I think they get
the question asked of you was simple. Where do dogs get their sense of evil from? That's the question.
I didn't hear that question.
You didn't hear that because your lips were moving and your tongue was still wagging because you were interested in listening to other people. You just want to run your motherfucking mouth. And some of us are sick of it.
No, sir, I just got
you. If you're going to converse with people, you need to learn to listen and engage. But don't act like somebody who's on drugs and too stupid to talk and think.
Yeah, I apologize.
You don't need to apologize. Do you know what's really bad? A few moments ago, I was thinking I wish Trent were more like his mother. She's reasonable. She speaks in sentences that are beautifully conjugated, but her son, in contrast, is a moron. That's what I was thinking.
But he looked good in the suit.
So hang on. No, I already told you you need to drop 15. I already told you that. So don't talk about how you look too good in the suit.
Okay, hang on real quick, because I got something for Ben. This is from Dr. Nyabon, and I'm going to drop it in the chat for you.
Have you read it? Have you read it?
No, I haven't even read the entire
why
thing.
you dropping it?
Because he was just interviewed on PBS, okay? And the question is, it was from Geoff Bennett. It says, so Roundup is one of the most widely used herbicides in the country. What does scientists tell us about the potential health risk? And this is what Dr.
I just told you a moment ago. But if you're using anything to support your argument, at least do us the courtesy of knowing what your evidence is about.
I can read fast. So Dr.
Yeah, you go read it. Go read it. If you support your argument, then read it.
Yeah, let me read it, my man. So Dr. Chana...
No, I'm not saying read it to me. I'm saying you read it.
Okay, I'm going to read it out loud.
No. You don't want to do that. No.
I've already read it because you've been talking. So let me just tell you what...
No. Just... Oh my gosh. No.
Okay, so we've learned a lot about Roundup and its active ingredient glyphosate over the years.
The article that you need to discuss with us is the article that you published in carpro.com. I want to know how many times you read that one before you signed off on it. That's what I want to know.
Hang on, I just put it in. I just put it in the chat. It's from PBS. It happened 4 days ago. Just let me just read this top line from Dr. Chadi Naban. He says, we've learned a lot about Roundup and its active ingredient glyphosate over the years. Mainly, it's linked to carcinogen and the ability to cause cancer and specifically non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The International Association of Research on Cancer in 2015 labeled glyphosate the main ingredient of Roundup as a probable human carcinogen based upon published data, peer-reviewed literature, and based upon animal studies, toxicity studies, as well as epidemiological studies. So we know today in 26 way more than we knew back in the 70s.
Can I ask you something? Is this man was he an expert witness against Monsanto in all three of the trials? Has he published a book about the toxicity of this drug or this pesticide? Yes, the answer is yes. It's right in the beginning. You didn't even read the first two paragraphs. So does he potentially have a bias? Yes, because he's published a book and he works for people who are opposed to Roundup. Got it? So I am saying, I don't take any, look, I don't know anything about the actual arguments in terms of scientifically, but what I'm saying is you're saying, look, this guy appeared and he said this as if it means something, but he is the guy who basically is working for the plaintiffs on a lot of these trials, and he has this particular bent, correct?
I wouldn't necessarily. So I understand what you're saying, Tara. He is a doctor with the University of Chicago on lymphoma. He is an expert on the studies. Yes, I guess he's worked as a plaintiff or expert witness on the case, but I don't mean that means that he's helping against phosphates. You know,
Wait a minute. So you just called out Monsanto and all the big corporations for being biased, for not wanting to pay money. But the man who's stand to make money, he's not biased. So bias only goes. This is what's frustrating. We all hate Roundup. But your arguments are condescending, uninformed, and inchoate to the nth degree. The case was not about whether or not Monsanto glyphosate causes cancer. It also will not decide anything about labels for AI, because it's about FIFRA. Now, do you know what FIFRA is?
I still don't know what FIFRA is. I haven't looked it up.
Exactly. Let's change the conversation. You're not listening to us. That's what the frustration is. You're not actually having a conversation with us. You're just using us impetus to say whatever the fuck you want to say. I'll stop talking to you. You can go and say what the fuck you want, because you're not actually in a dialogue with me. It's very rude, man. It's insane.
I just have a question.
We said what FIFRA is now 4 times. And we've said what the statute is. People have written out in the chat. I said it twice. You're not actually listening to us. And you guys should, you guys do whatever you want. But people continue to engage Trent. He's not listening to you. He's doing his own thing.
No, I'm with you. I understand why, but you asked about what people had said about
Can I ask you a question, though?
Listening to you.
I spent 1 minute or less reading the first 2 paragraphs of what you posted, and I knew more about this guy than you did. So let me ask you something. Don't you think at least you owe it to the stage to spend 2 minutes reading something that you post? Because I found this out. It's in the 2nd paragraph. It talks about who he is, what he is, and his book. And I'm not expressing any opinion on Roundup right here. What I'm trying to say is, wouldn't that at least be the minimum that somebody should do when they throw something, in the pail or the nest or whatever we call it? Yes?
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
Hello?
I should have
Hello?
been diligent and explained
Hello?
if
Hello?
article real quick
Can
if
you
you guys
share
want
the article and the study on the landscapers? Because I'd like to see the outliers on that study as well. That's one thing I'd like to see, because landscapers are exposed to many different chemicals, emissions, things of those natures. So I'd like to see how they got the correlation between Roundup and the landscaper with those factoring outliers in the study.
Just real quick for us, it's not a landscape, it's landscapers, it's
The
thousands of them.
landscapers are exposed to many different emissions from the
correct.
From anything that they use, CO2 emissions. There could be other chemicals that they use, such as fertilizers, other things that they're exposed to. So I'd like to see in that study how they factor in the other outliers. This is any scientific study, especially when it's not done in a closed laboratory. There's going to be outliers that need to be factored in that actually you need to take into consideration when reading the results of the study.
Okay. Well, I just Google it. If you just Google class action, it's got some of that in there. But to answer your question, Hurricane, thanks for reading the article. I appreciate it.
I wasn't able to finish reading it. It was incoherent. My question to you was a simple one. How many rounds of review did you perform on the article before you signed off for it to be published? That's what I'd like to know. How many times did you review it?
Shit. I think I read it. I don't even know if I sent it to my mother because she's she's an English professor, just in case my English was off, but she thought it was fine.
So you're pushing the responsibility onto your mom. How many times did you read it?
I'm not a fucking editor, to be honest. Seriously, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not great with the English. I'm not great with the English language when it comes to written communication. So I put it in bite-sized forms that I know that the average reader of San Antonio.
But you're putting stuff out there.
I put it in bite.
You dumbed it down for San Antonians?
Yeah. I put it in bite-sized forms that the average San Antonian, and it was also in the Dallas Morning News.
Wait, so Trent, with
your name on it.
So Trent, let me just get this clear. So you're telling me that you wrote the thing, you didn't bother to read it a few times to review it, you just published it. Is that what you did?
It was sent to their editor, so I figured that they would look at it if they could find anything that was completely erroneous or wrongly spelled. They shortened it a little bit.
Okay.
They took out a little bit of it, but I didn't see anything dramatic. Why? Was something wrong?
Yeah. So it's littered with punctuation errors. My nephew in 6th grade has better punctuation skills than the person who wrote that thing. It was really bad.
The format that it goes in, dang, Rodney, you riding through the streets?
Can somebody mute Rodney? He's Can somebody mute Rodney? There's a lot of background noise. Okay, what were you saying, Trent?
Yeah, with the I don't think there were a lot of grammatical errors.
You're wrong. There were.
Just hang on. I ain't finished what I'm saying.
Over 20.
No, okay.
Over 40.
So the AI checks it for grammatical errors, of course, right? I really did send it to my mom. But when they put it into like that format where they shrink it down, like into their you know what I mean, when they shrink it down to like mobile format, I can't say I do see articles get changed, but thank you for pointing out. I'll try to do better one.
Okay. Yeah, and before you send your mother something, take some time to fix it. There's no way in the world your mother could have read that and said that it was well written. There's no way. Not the lady that I've heard on this app twice. There's no way in the world. Your mother's Amandalish language is far too wonderful for her to read that thing and say it's good. There's just no way.
And this is why I tell you, and all y'all on the stage, many of you, you're in the 95th percentile of intelligence of America. What was well written to you, most Americans couldn't read. I'm just being honest with you.
Hey, Trent. Trent, could I read you one sentence and tell me if you hear anything wrong with this, okay? Dealers are able stabilize additional personnel cost, thus, compensation savings are often passed to you, the consumer, as dealers with an apostrophe S face increasing pressure to lower prices. Are you perhaps missing dealers are able to stabilize? Why is there a comma after the thus? Dealers should not have an apostrophe because that would be a singular dealer. I mean, I'm just looking, this is your article, correct?
It is.
This is pretty funny. I'm sorry. You put this through AI and they did not find these things?
There's no way they put it through AI.
No way. I mean, come on. That's just one sentence. There are 3 errors in one sentence there.
Yeah, when they condense it down, I don't even remember writing a sentence like that. But when they did condense it a little bit from what I originally did.
Condensing you will do to writing that loses all of that. There is no then. The reason the word condense is up at the soldier is because if you imagine the condensed milk is about to milk.
Hey, Tara, you got me. I put in a bad sentence. You got me. I got a bad sentence in there.
Wait, why would you bring San Antonio and other people of Texas and dumb this down with bad writing?
So when it's dumbed down, and I say it at the top, I wrote it in like bite-sized form intentionally.
Trent, every sentence was bad, Trent. Every sentence. There was not one sentence in that article that was decently written. They were all bad. Okay. And I'm serious.
Okay. That's all. Terrible. I'll take that criticism. It's all good. It's my first one out the gate for 5 years. I have not been allowed to speak publicly, write anything publicly. It has been for somebody like me who's very verbose and outgoing. It has been difficult. So this was my first one. Getting back onto the train, I've done a couple of interviews, and I have to thank you folks in this room because you actually helped me prepare to get out there to do some of these interviews and be able to think on my feet. I have to say, I am not the same person at 45 that I was at 38 and 37, So this is the first one. There'll be another.
I don't know if they announced it yet. Let me go look. If the SCOTUS is tomorrow. Or is it?
Tomorrow's supposed to be the last day. They're supposed to do birthright and transgender athletes and one other.
Yeah, the other one is on. What is the other one? On Dick. Okay. Yeah, it is tomorrow. I see it.
Yeah. But what's the fourth one? I forgot, because there's two
Campaign finance.
Ah, right. Whether the RNC can coordinate with the political candidates, or if there's any limit on that.
The chief was leaving. He was leaving all the big boys for himself, and he said, "Let me do these."
Hello, it is very democratic of you to use my national symbols as your profile photo. Thank you.
Allah is a lie.
I was talking about past profile photo. It is somehow a caricature of the Iranian sculptures.
Yeah, you're wrong, bitch. You're wrong.
And Ben, you're right. The Trent show does suck, but we have established that there are rat trials.
Yes, we've known that, and in fact, what I found after that is that came out in 2015. And there have been many studies in the decade refute that study and refuse to make the same conclusion. That's how science works. And so, but they're not all paid for by Bayer or Monsanto. Like, there are actually people who just do it. But you can't bring in a person who was on the side of the case and pretend he's neutral, but the other people aren't.
That's
But
true.
you didn't say that. But you didn't know that.
Didn't know that because he didn't read the first paragraph, which is insane.
You're right.
All right, well, we're asking you to not come in and act arrogant and a know-it-all when you admittedly don't know anything. Just kind of chill out, man. You know what? It's just kind of chill.
Oh, okay. I'm leaving. You have a good day. I appreciate
So you came back in to change the room to what you want to talk to. Now you're leaving.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. You won't be getting back in, though.
He also
That motherfucker is very rude.
He misspelled Lucille Ball. He misspelled it's. This is unbelievable. I'm sorry, I'm reading this. I'm laughing. Lucille Ball. No, he did not put this through AI or anything.
And his mother didn't read it either.
No, there's no way. His mother would have known how to spell these things. Oh my God.
God, I almost was gonna be like Hurricane, be nice, but he's actually very rude. But he gave it to his mommy. Like, what the fuck?
He gave it to her after it was published.
Exactly.
To give you. And if a black person doesn't have the ability to show a bank that I will repay you, the bank is never going to extend you a line of credit. So it's cool to have cash, but credit rules this country. That's why we're so far in fucking debt. So until we learn how to pimp the credit system, we're always going to start 10 steps behind.
Let me ask you a question.
Instead of that, we're good.
Let me ask Brandon.
I never understood.
Let me ask Brandon a quick question.
I'm just asking him. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick, Cap. So Brandon, financial literacy, would you consider that more of a masculine area or a feminine area?
Masculine for sure, because 9 times out of 10, the man is the one that's making the money. Like, the woman may pay the bills, but you have to have a say-so into it. And like, for black men, those conversations in the barbershop should also include financial literacy.
Most people don't have it though, Brandon. Okay, so this is the point I'm trying to get at. So again, that's a masculine arena. When you're looking at the black community, who runs our community, the men or the women?
The women. Oh, actually the women.
Okay, so here's the thing. Another question, who holds the most debt in this country between men and women?
Women, black women spend more money than women in the country.
Cap, you got a
No, would you agree with Cap, Brandon?
I agree with you. Right. Women have a spending issue, but I will say
specific women have a spending issue, bro.
Hold on.
Single black women, they spend the most.
They kick to the goal. I get your passion, Cap.
He might have got kicked out of the room by accident. He might have swiped out of the room by accident.
But what I will say is every point that you're making to push back, the women are controlling households, women are overarchingly more in debt, but part of that, because you can cherry pick stats, part of that debt also includes black women are more educated than any other minority of women. So some of that debt that you're talking about, that being in debt, comes from being educated. So
look at the quality of educational brand. Yeah, educated just means you paid a school enough money to hand you over a piece of paper. You know damn well. I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing by the way you articulate yourself, you're college educated. Am I correct?
100%.
Okay,
100%.
and you know damn well these colleges ain't performing at a collegiate level the way that they should be.
What you mean?
It's as long as you pay that money, that school's getting their money, and you show up and turn something in.
A degree.
For most of these, you're gonna get a degree. And I'm not saying MIT, I'm not saying Harvard.
I fully understand what you're saying.
Average college that most of these black women are going to and so-called getting educated from, as long as you pay that fucking money, that school gets that money, and you show up and you turn something in, you're getting a fucking degree, bro.
But what I will push back on you, like what I will push back on you on that would say
conversation, please, bro.
Is education is pushed on women far more than it's pushed on men. So here's what I would challenge black men on. We understand that there's a double standard between raising black boys and raising black girls.
It's a fact.
The same amount of effort that we put into black women as young girls, you in turn have to put in black men. If you want a better quality man, you don't fucking grow that at 21, 22, and 23.
But there's a caveat in that. There's a caveat in that statement, though, Sig and Brandon. If you add those brothers that are going to trade school, they included with the college brothers, it's almost equal to the women that are going to college. So it's not that these brothers aren't going to college or not getting some type of education. They're just looking at it in a different lens. Which I can't even knock these brothers, but at the same time, a lot of that college shit, they're going to college for these degrees, right? And these degrees don't even pay out. Like they're literally going to be in debt. They're literally going to be in debt for most of their life.
So again, if
you're missing this point. Like you got to understand the problem in our community. Like what he was saying is, women get guidance, boys don't. Let me give you an example. College wasn't optional. College was not optional for the females in my family. That it was set fast. The day they was born, it was set on the path. When we got to our junior years and senior years in high school, we had an opinion on what we wanted to do. And that's where most of my cousins ruined their lives. Because they was actually allowed to get an opinion before their brain actually did it. You understand what I'm saying? And what you gotta understand, bro, is that it all comes back to family structure. No matter how we can keep moving this goalpost, right? When you see these men being raised by women on their own, they are bound to be losers.
Boom. That's the point. Yes, Captain. And that's
selfish.
Right. And that's
womanly traits being a man. Like Brandon, how many times as a man did you learn when you was growing up that results is results and nobody give a fuck how you feel? You learned that early in life. Nobody.
But I also would say I was raised by a single black woman, but she understood the importance of what it was to be a man. So, like, I think that the part that I agree wholeheartedly with what you guys are is a lot of these women that are raising single black boys are treating them as if they're their boyfriends, their helpmates, so on and so forth. So they're emasculated. And again, I am not disagreeing with you guys, but if you're talking about a solution-based program, and I don't disagree with Mr. that we have black men going into it's almost the equivalent of going into college. What I will disagree with is you don't have a disproportionate amount of 18 to 25-year-old black women being mass incarcerated at the same rate that their counterparts are being locked up. So now when you look at how many people in our community that are males that are part of the system of prison, it eliminates them from society. So when you talk about the breakdown of the family, when you talk about the disruption of the black community, mass incarceration, and then if I do my time and I get out, not having the ability to get gainful employment, not having the ability to go back to school, not having the ability to get, because now you have to depend on somebody giving you an opportunity and taking a chance on you, which hell, the college educated ones of us they're not even given an opportunity and a chance to. Let alone a felon. So now, hold on, Captain. So now when you talk about those folks finding somebody that's willing to take a chance on them so that they can become a rehabilitated, reproductive person in society, like the conversation is much more nuanced than it is. This is why we're failing as a community. There's not another segment of men outside of the black male from 15 to 30 that deals with mass incarceration the way the black community does.
But you gotta ask a question. The majority of these mass incarcerated black. Hold on.
You said that you was raised by your mom, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, are you married?
Yeah, 25 years.
So you are the person that ended the generational curse.
100%. But I knew I wasn't going back to the hood that I grew up in.
Listen to what I'm saying though, right?
Go ahead.
It's not a lot of women without a man in the house that's gonna be able to do what your mother did. Let's just be for real.
Right.
I want you to understand that you're an anomaly. So I love what you've done with your life. You're a super smart and articulate brother, right? But like the reality of it is, most niggas that grew up in that same situation will be the anti-you. They'll be up here making excuses. They'll have kids all over the place. They'll generally be losing contributors to society. And what I'm saying is, the answer is family. That's the answer.
Yep.
Discipline, structure, self-confidence come from your father.
And men provide that, right? Exactly. Yep.
Say it again?
I said, no, you're right. Men are the ones that provide that structure.
Yeah, like when I see a boy and I see his mother yelling at him, I know he gonna be a beta male. Because your moms ain't supposed to be yelling at you. Your father's supposed to deal with you. When I see a boy and they mother, and yo, you know the most toxic shit in the world, Brandon, is when these women tell their sons, you just like your father, and they pick the bum and fuck them. Like, that's toxic.
Boom.
Like, you saying my daddy ain't shit, but you was fucking him raw. Why was you fucking him raw? They can't answer that. They'll never, like, listen, I will tell you, all these women that got kids by niggas that they say ain't shit, if we ever get up here and ask them, how does an ain't shit nigga get the fuck you raw? They gonna say an uneducated nigga tricked them.
And here's the thing.
That's what they gonna tell you. They go to college and get an education to fuck niggas without an education. All the niggas with degrees in college with them, they didn't want to get with none of them niggas. They come back to the block and get a nigga. And then talk about a nigga integrity.
Yep. And you got women with doctorates and master's degrees, Brandon, pulling this same fucking move, Captain.
Yo, bro, it's the fact you got a woman with $100 million that just joined the niggas harem. They fucking gay men. Like, we seen that with the trial that just came up. We seen that with these athletes. They'll fuck gay men. Listen, man. Most of these kids will never know that they were just an irresponsible night of drinking or their mother had them for a perceived check. They'll never know the truth. They'll just think that the father walked out on them. They'll never know that their moms was just fucking and just had them. The nigga never cared about her. He was never with her. It's just the truth. And when we talk about family structure, it starts with the choice of the woman, bro. We can't have kids.
And that's the whole...
If I'm a criminal and I got 3 baby mothers, and women keep reproducing with me, why you mad at the degenerate nigga? He clearly doing something that they value. Being ain't shit.
And that's
More niggas that ain't shit is gonna get pussy than a man that's on his purpose.
You know exactly what them niggas is doing. They giving them that dick. That's it.
Correct.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. So again, the crux of the problem is, and you talk.
By the way, right? If you got a kid and you getting under $1,000, you make terrible decisions. You understand what I'm saying to you? I know that's gonna sound to you. If a broad is getting under $500 child support, I know because it's a woman's job, to negotiate on behalf of her unborn children. That's her job.
Right.
She negotiated just that. So if your baby daddy ain't shit, it's because you ain't shit either.
And that's the problem. And when we talk about the black community, Brandon, you talked about this incarceration rate. The majority of black men that are in prison right now, that are locked dealing in the penal system, they're not coming from single father homes. They're not coming from 2-parent households. They're coming from, the majority are coming from households that are managed by women. And this is a problem. We talk about community. Community consists of 3 elements: husbands, wives, and children. That's what makes a community. All right? If we can't get our women to get into the lane of being a wife, then it's fucking pointless. Because here's the thing. You can watch. Look, I'm telling you right now, there's so much evidence out there. Body cam footage is I think is the best thing that's ever happened to this country because it's showing the true colors. I watch a lot of body cam footage. I watch police interacting with black men. I watch police interacting with white men, black men. White men, white women, Asian men, Asian women, Arab women. Even if you just break it down to police interactions between black men and black women, overwhelmingly, I see black men dealing with police. Most of them are calm. Most of them are cool. They follow orders. But when you see them dealing with the black women, the narrative fucking changes. It flips. The attitude, the disrespect, the non-compliance to authority, it's the worst with black women. So again, the issue is, and I want to get back to this clip because this clip really highlights what we're talking about.
Oh shit! Before I go to dinner, I wanted to say one more thing too, right? It's a lot of male men that's going through mental health crises too, because it's this girl in your goo named Pretty Motherfucker, right? The mailman in her neighborhood is 4 different last names on her mailbox, right? He confused the mailman. Cause that nigga don't know if he going to the right house. You understand what I'm saying? Imagine it's 4 different last names on the same mailbox. That ass, bro. Like motherfucker, I can't get my package on time because this nigga walking around the neighborhood like he finna rob somebody.
Assalamu alaikum, Habibi. Come to Dubai. Come to Dubai, Habibi.
Imagine when Christmas from like
come to Dubai.
They arguing about who got the realest daddy. Well, mommy was fucking your daddy when he was broke. Well,
come to Dubai, Habibi.
My daddy lived with mommy. My daddy lived with mommy when I was 8 months old. Your daddy was gone when she was pregnant with you. They having fights about who daddy is the bigger bum.
Well, which daddy got that niggas we with?
I don't know if they would know that, but
I called the FBI on you. They're gonna shut down your car rental business and have you deported. Bye-bye, Habibi. Take care now. Enjoy Pakistan. Have a good time in Pakistan with your brother in Vancouver in Canada. You're all going back to Pakistan.
Financial literacy, men dominate that field as far as disseminating that information down to the children. Being frugal with our money, right? When we talk about order, when we talk about discipline, when we talk about structure, this is the man's job. And if the man can't control the woman and the woman is allowed to roam free and run free and float around here like a leaf in the wind with zero consequence and zero accountability, we don't have a community. And that's why we're having this discussion. Because we have to be honest.
You're going back to Pakistan.
Out of control. And when you
Habibi, come back to Karachi. What happened? Where you been? I'm in Pakistan. How'd you go to Pakistan? Motherfucking John Kitover. John Kitover called the FBI in California and Los Angeles, and they fucking deported me back to Pakistan. God damn it! I'm back in Pakistan. I'm back in Pakistan. They deported me back to Pakistan. I got deported to Pakistan. What happened, Habibi? Come back to Karachi. Hello? 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 It finally kicked me. Ooh, that was a good one.
All the stuff, it's a domino. You know what I mean? So I think that, and it's kind of the sad truth that a lot of our sisters have partaken of the wine. They drunk up the wine of white supremacy to believe that anything that's close to whiteness, anything that's close to it, anything that's in proximity of it is better. It's going to produce something, and in the process, only produce nothing but brainwash and hatred for your own self and your own men, your own kids, and everything like that. But I'm gonna land, not to believe me too long-winded. I do think that when it comes to a lot of our sisters, and it's really sad that a lot of our sisters don't really have the emotional bandwidth, and they don't really have the basic emotional bandwidth when it comes to men, especially us. Like I know, like a system, and it's not every single brother, it's not every single case, but I don't really go through it too much at all, really at all. But I noticed that from listening to other brothers speak and listening to other experiences and things like that, it seemed that a certain brother was speaking to a homeless man saying, "I have no change," and cuss out a brother just for saying good morning. You know what I mean? And I think that it's really sad. It's really sad. It's depressing. At some point, it makes you think like, damn, what's happening to our nation? Now, do I get disrespected in a sense? No, I haven't really got disrespected in a while, really. Probably on this app getting cussed out, but other than that, I haven't really experienced nothing too bad. But I do think that, when it comes to our community, a lot of our sisters, man, a lot of them lack basic human decency, like basic human decency. They promote being a baddie. They want to be this boss chick type of woman and don't understand that what's gonna get you taken serious is being that virtuous and being a solid woman, 10 toes down when it comes to your character. Now, I get it. Some women that have been that way, they may have got done wrong. I get it, but you shouldn't stop being virtuous just because one dude didn't handle you correctly. That's all I want to say.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get back to this clip, and then we can open up the floor for discussion.
My bad, dog.
Oh no, you're good, bro. No. I appreciate your submission, man. Welcome to the stage, everybody. What's going on, Brad? What's up, Pepe? Welcome, guys. Good to see you. So yeah, we're gonna get to this clip, man. At any time, if you hear something in the clip and you want to comment, just open up your mic and start talking. I'll pause the clip. But this is, this is generally the attitude. What we're about to hear and witness is generally the attitude we hear coming from our black women, right? Not all. It's not every single black woman. It's not all black women. But this mindset is in a good number of our black women, and this mindset is being taught to these kids that they're raising in these households. There's no men to stop this, right? There's no men to counter the acidic attitude, the cancerous attitude that these women have, and they're passing on down to their children. And we wonder why we see our children as like Trayvon Martin, like Carmelo Anthony, like what's the young man's name that got shot by the Asian store owner the other week. This is why we're seeing our young boys. This is why Juneteenth, a celebration of Black liberty. We got Chicago, 30 shot, 40 shot, 13 dead. On a weekend celebration that's supposed to celebrate Black liberty, Black independence, Black freedom. It ain't white KKK members. It ain't white Republicans going into Chicago and then shooting and killing all these black people. It's other black people. And the majority of these people pulling the trigger are coming from homes that are managed and ran by women. Okay, so here we go with the clip.
Excuse me, ma'am. What's the most beautiful thing about a black woman?
Me?
Okay, I like that. Yeah, for sure. Why do you say me?
I think a black woman, the beautiful thing about a black woman is we can advocate for ourselves. We're black, we're beautiful, we strong. We take care of a lot of shit without a man. We don't need a man for shit.
So
Men was mad that we got jobs. The fuck? Weak ass niggas.
if I'm not mistaken, the question was, what is the most beautiful thing about a black woman? How did we go from that to her insulting men? Does it make sense to you guys? Because I'm kind of confused right now. So you don't think black women need men at all?
I mean, we need men for all reasons, all sexual reasons, but in all reality, we don't need no man. I didn't watch my mother be a woman her whole life. She didn't need no.
Again, the young man made a great point. He asked a specific question, and she went straight to disdain for black men. And you wonder why these young black boys, and you wonder why we got 40 shot on Juneteenth weekend. You wonder why we got 75 shot on Father's Day weekend in Chicago and Shreveport and Baltimore. You wonder why the illiteracy rates are the highest in our community. When you go into these inner cities and these school systems, that if you look at these school boards, nothing but black women with doctorates and master's degrees running these fucking school boards and making the decisions for our local education.
So, can I say something to that real quick?
Hold on there.
I'll let it over.
She told on herself though. You want to hear what she said? She watched her mother do the same shit. She watched her mother. I watched my mother be a woman. This is like I think you said it like before you played the clip again. They raised by single women, both the men and the women alike. And this is what we get. and then you on with the degeneracy, bro. Because I guarantee you, if she don't have a kid, she'll be a baby mama within the next couple years.
Wait, hold on, let me say this real quick. I will at least have this in her defense. I would say this. Number one, do I think every sister thinks like that? Absolutely not. Number two, we gotta also think about this too, right? If we was able to practice dick discipline, there should be no way in hell I'm busting in the side of woman that I'm not even about to take serious. You know what I mean? So we had this issue, right? Now I do get when it comes to the point, right? When it comes to the video, the way she was speaking, it didn't make sense. I seen that earlier, a couple weeks ago, I think, earlier last week or something like that. I seen the video and I was like, oh wow, like he asked what is beautiful about black women, she went off. Now I will say this though too. I do feel bad because I'm noticing even like my little brother and my little niece and nephew, like when they're in high school now, right? A lot of like my nephews, they're choosing to go to prom with either Hispanic or white women. And to me, it bothers me because I'm like, wait a minute. And I ain't just that. Even when I went to prom, right? I went with a Mexican girl. I really wanted to go with the sister, but I was too scared to ask her. I ain't gonna lie. She was fine as fuck.
Why were you scared of a black woman? You weren't scared of the non-black women.
No. Wait, hold on. No. I get what you're. No. I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not taking away from what you're saying. I get it. I'm just saying when you look at what's going on in our community, a lot of the young brothers, a lot of my young niece and nephew.
Don't glaze over that question, Roy. Don't glaze over that. Why was you scared? Why was you scared to ask the black woman? Why was you scared to ask the Mexican?
Okay, let me tell you why. Because realistically, I did not have any type of game to talk to her. I could have just said something. I didn't have the.
So you don't need game for the Mexicans. That's what you're saying. You don't need no game.
Stop.
Shouldn't you be good be enough?
Wait, hold on quick. I'm gonna land my plane. The Hispanic lady, we was actually already friends, right? So it wasn't really like nothing. Because I really wanted to go with the sister, but she got asked about somebody else. But when we went to prom, I seen her. She wasn't really dancing with the nigga. I'm like, why the fuck did you go with that nigga? But I was too scared to say something. So it's my fault for not speaking to her.
No, you're not seeing it, dude. Like, that she was not even hanging with who she was going with is a sign that she was a bad chick. She's not really loyal to the person who asked her to go. Put effort in. You're not seeing that?
No, but here's the thing. After prom, though, after high school, we started talking, hanging out. I told her what the deal was. She said you couldn't have said something. And I was too scared. Shit, you know what I'm saying? But, I'm gonna stop talking. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I just think that the clip. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this.
No, don't stop telling on yourself, Roy. Keep going. Don't mute up.
Anonymous has been waiting. Go ahead, Anonymous.
I'm gonna say some of the points you're making, I agree with, or at least they have some worth of discussion. But this clip doesn't really get at it. It's just because she sounds like she's a hood. You can find a hood dude who's going to misrepresent what us brothers are really talking about, and you can talk to get some of these country folks that's going to sound crazy and make the white people suffer. So I just don't. When I got to hear that clip, I don't hear a representation of most women that come in contact. I mean, if that guy is going around trying to find somebody who's going to make him go viral, so he might have came across some people who gave sensible answers. She's the one who gave the most interesting answers that would make us have a discussion and his thing get more views and get more money. So I'm just saying that I agree with your point, but I agree with some of the points. I just don't know if that clip is really going to capture what really is going on in the community.
And that's a fair point.
No, it ain't, Sid, because what he's saying is, this ain't enough. So that's what we gonna do, Sid. We gonna find 10 more motherfucking clips with 10 different niggas, and it all gonna be the same.
Well, no, he's got a fair point. So he actually has a fair point. And you do have to have some discernment when you're watching these videos, because these videos, the purpose are to get views. So he is right. There is a possibility he could have went up to 20 other black women, and they did give sensible answers, but he picked the most controversial one, the one that's going to get the most clicks. So no, the brother's got a fair point on that. But here's the deal. And we'll use Clubhouse as an example. Actually, today, this room as an example, we've had several women speak on the stage, okay? We had 2 black women that came on the stage, and before them, several other non-black women spoke, and they were respectful. They waited their turn. They didn't raise their voice. They didn't cuss. They didn't act masculine, right? And the 2 black women that happened to come on stage first happened to curse, happen to be very masculine in their articulation, very disrespectful, interrupting. They display behavior, and it's funny, the disrespectful, non-feminine behavior. You think it's a coincidence that in this setting, it happened to be the two black women that displayed it first when all these other non-black women spoke and didn't show the same type of behavior? So I see what you're saying, Anonymous, and I think your point is valid. But again, we got enough examples, and this happens in real life, right? That when you're going to get disrespectful, unruly, insufferable behavior from a woman, you're more than likely, your odds are you're going to get it from a black woman first. And I think that kind of goes to the point I was making about the brother being scared to ask black women. Black women typically are harder to approach because they have an unrealistic expectation of what a man's supposed to be. And I'll give you an example. When I was younger and I started going to the clubs and shit in my late teens, my late teens, I used to go to the black clubs in Detroit, right? I used to go to St. Andrews and River Rock. It was very difficult to approach black women. And I noticed that niggas that were driving the Magnums, the niggas that were driving had the chains on and had the Sean John outfits and looked like dope boys and looked like they had some type of fucking money. Even though these niggas were hood rich, they were the ones that got the shot at the women. The normal blue collar niggas that just dress, normally.
See, I can't let you do that, man. I was in those clubs with you, and I wasn't a dope boy. I can't let you do that, man. I was Maxie's. I started out at Maxie's at 15. I'm from Detroit too. Okay. I can't let you. Was the dope boys winning? Yes, but regular niggas was winning too, cause I was winning. We was winning. Me and my niggas was winning. Even when we got to college and we was going across the bridge to Canada. We college students. We broke. We was winning over there too, bro. I can't let you say that about. I can't let you say that.
I'm not saying it was impossible. But you just admitted, was the dope boys winning? Yes, the dope boys had a better shot than the average clean guy that had his shit together. That was coming up.
I gotta disagree with you. I was there with you, and we wasn't dope boys, and we was winning.
Well, here's the thing though. When you went over to Clutch Cargo's in Pontiac, what's the demographic at Clutch Cargo's on? Majority white women or black women?
Hold on, you had the dress code clubs too. I'm not disagreeing with you there. It's the same everywhere though. You got cats that pull up in the rides, clothes, and jewelry. They gonna win too. But cats that got gift for the cats that can speak to a female, make her laugh, is happy. They don't necessarily gotta have that. What those dope boys have. That's all I'm saying. But Detroit went back in the day. This is before social media. This is the 90s. This is the late 90s, early 2000s. Niggas is winning, bro. We ain't had no money. Didn't you start out at Maxie's, the teenage club? Then we elevated to River Rock and shit like that. Come on, man. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is that there is a difference. The barrier to entry is a lot harder when you're dealing with black women than it is with non-black women. And a few of my buddies that grew up going to the same clubs, and I didn't know them as teenagers. I didn't meet these guys until I was in my 30s. And when I started talking about this, I started going to Clutch Cargo's, and I noticed I could just show up in a pair of Skechers, cargo pants, and a hoodie, and the barrier of entry was a lot lower. Those women were more willing to talk to lower-level blue-collar guys that were just average, basic guys than it was with the black women. And they said, man, it was the same thing too. I did it. So again, I'm talking to guys that I didn't grow up with and sharing these stories and hearing the same things. Talking to black women, the barrier of entry is a lot higher. I'm not saying it's impossible or unapologetic, but what I'm saying is when you're dealing with black women, that barrier of entry is a lot higher than dealing with non-black. Non-black women are willing to give you more of a time of day without having to peacock.
Hold on. You see, we have an exchange. We talking about, you're not both from the same place. We have an exchange. Why somebody always got to chime in? Listen, homosexual still fucking. Right? Now, I give you this shit. See, Detroit has always been materialistic. Most metro big cities are people. There's a lot of people that are materialistic. It costs a lot to live there. This is before social media, right? He's not wrong. But I'm here to tell you, this is what I was. Nobody. This is before cats started making it to the NFL. Niggas wasn't balling. We eating ramen noodles on college campuses, right? I'm telling you, niggas was winning in high school and college, bro. I'm just telling you. We was looking at them niggas like, man, you ain't gotta spend that money to get this pussy. This is in the late 90s, just before fucking social media. This is when niggas still had pagers. Before all that shit.
I was telling them niggas that shit in 2010. You ain't gotta do too much, man. You just gotta know how to talk to women. But I will say, to the whole point of what we talking about, the non-approachable shit. I hear that, but I never had any problem getting really anything that I wanted for real. But what I can say is we go back to I just want to focus on the family dynamic, bro, because that's the key to the fall of the black community. It ain't about, I don't know, man. I guess that do got something to do with them being approachable too, bro. Yeah, I never really had that issue.
I have a different spin on it.
Sorry to interrupt. 1 sec. I'm sorry to say. Can you check the app, please?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam. Did you want to chime in? Then we'll get back to the clip.
I thought that was Law that said that.
Or Law, whoever. Yeah.
Close your eyes and get comfortable. It's time to breathe deeply and relax completely. Breathe deeply and relax completely, allowing a quietness of spirit to come in. Feel the blood flowing through your arms and legs, through your body and mind. Relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Take a deep breath. Hold it as long as you comfortably can. And then let it out slowly through slightly parted lips. And when the breath is all the way out, contract your stomach muscles and push it even further out and further out. And then repeat this process of breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And if any outside thoughts should come into your mind, simply brush them aside and return your concentration to the sound of my voice. And breathing deeply and relaxing completely. Breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And now use your imagination and feel your body relaxing one part at a time in response to my words. Play the role, play the part, and mentally relay the relaxing suggestions into that part of your body. And feel them take effect. Feel your body relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. And the relaxing sensations are now coming into the toes of both of your feet at the same time. Moving right on down into your arches, into your heels, and on up into your ankles. Completely relaxed, completely relaxed. And these soothing sensations are now moving on up your legs to your knees, relaxing all the muscles as it goes. And on up your legs to your thighs and to your hips. Just completely relaxing. And your full attention is on the sound of my voice. As the relaxing sensations move into the fingers of both of your hands. Relaxing your hands. And it now moves on up into your forearms. Relaxing your forearms.
We'll go to Gates. You caught me picking me nose again?